cattle sold steady to 3 lower. Packer cows and bulls $8 to $15 higher. 3 to 400 pound steers $387, $407. 3 to 400 pound heifers $296, $325. 4 to 500 pound steers $320, $387. 4 to 500 pound heifers $275, $296. 5 to 600 pound steers $271, $320. 5 to 600 pound heifers $250, $275. 6 to 700 pound steers $245, $271. 6 to 700 pound heifers $226, $250. 7 to 800 pound steers $214, $245. 7 to 800 pound heifers $212, $226. Packer cows $130, $145. Canner and cutter cows $120, $125. Packer bulls $165, $187. Feeder bulls $140, $150. Top half the cow calf pairs $2,000 to $2,600 per pair. Top half the bred cows $1,700 to $2,300 per head. Don't forget to exercise your right and go cast your vote today, and pray for rain. We do appreciate the business. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
There's been talk in the news that it's hard to get credit these days. Not here. Just like always, we're making auto loans. We offer competitive rates and quick service. We make our loan decisions locally, so you don't have to wait for out-of-town approval on your loan. Make this strong move. Get your auto loan from us. Estacado Federal Credit Union, where you are more than a number. You're a member. Federally insured by NCUA.
This is Chad Hamill, and I'm running to be your next senator for District 32. My opponent, Candy Azell, can't defend her 20-year record in the Santa Fe swamp, so she's attacking other people's families and kids on the radio. That's the difference in this race. Candy attacks other people's kids while I'm running to protect yours. And on my record, as a fire chief, I have seen the devastation of open borders. Fentanyl overdoses are out of control. As a small business owner here in the community, I know firsthand how politicians in Santa Fe have destroyed small businesses for our communities. As a previous school board member, I know local control has been ripped away from our schools. It is time for a change. The same old just isn't working. I will be your conservative voice in Santa Fe. Career politicians have gotten New Mexico into this mess, but as a firefighter, I've made my living running towards problems, and I'm ready to fix the problems. I humbly ask for your vote on June the 4th so we can put the fire out in Santa Fe. Paid for by Friends of Chad Hamill.
Hello, this is former Senator Gay Kernan. In the race for state senate, I'm endorsing Representative Larry Scott and hope you'll support him too. I've been very disappointed by the negative and untruthful campaign run by Larry's opponent, Steve McCutcheon, as his campaign so far has not been based upon the facts. The truth is, Larry Scott is one of the most reliable, conservative votes in Santa Fe and is the single strongest voice for oil and gas in the entire New Mexico legislature. I'm also disappointed that our governor appointed McCutcheon to the Senate and in doing so has divided our southeast New Mexico community. Larry Scott was supported by the majority of our county commissioners who recognized Larry's strong conservative record and service to southeast New Mexico. Please do not believe the negative campaign against Larry Scott. Larry Scott has earned our trust.
Paid for by the committee to elect Larry R. Scott.
Hi, I'm Laura Boyd of Rio Grace Landscaping and Garden Center in Lovington. Take some time to browse 5,000 square feet of plants, shrubs, and flowers. Shop for shade trees to beat the summer heat. And get your garden goods, fruit trees, herbs, companion plants, fertilizer, top and garden soil, plus organic compost. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and on Sunday by appointment. Call us today at 575-396-7464. And come on down to 4 Crockett Road, just north of Lovington on the Tatum Highway. Rio Grace, your garden and landscape professionals.
Southeast New Mexico weather.
The weather forecast for southeast New Mexico. It's a Tuesday and temperatures continue to climb over the area, and it's a hot one today. Stay hydrated. Keep that water handy. 104 degrees in Roswell this afternoon. Carlsbad, Artesia at 104 degrees as well. And 100 degrees in our radio studios in Lovington. Lovington, with the easterly wind tomorrow, will drop into the upper 90s for a high. For W105 FM, I'm meteorologist Ron Roberts.
Your country plays on W105.
You guys ready?
Be in the Breakfast Club, broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio. Text line at 877-396-W105. Powered by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer. Question of the day brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply, your Napa dealer.
And I want to make sure I get the quote exactly right.
You seem particularly triggered right now.
Welcome to the show.
Say cheese. Cheese, cheese. Cheese, please, Louise.
I love cheese.
Happy National Cheese Day.
I got nothing here but cheese.
Ooh, cheese.
You don't eat cheese?
I am lactose intolerant.
Well, sorry, today's not your day.
Well, maybe tomorrow.
This is the cheesiest
show ever.
Everybody, here we go. Say cheese.
Cheese. And good morning.
And I'm here.
There you go.
I think I'm here.
You are.
God bless. It has been a long day for me. I'm out of studio, but I was able to pull it all together. I'm on the camera.
Yeah, you are.
Where you at?
Let me.
I think the camera moved a little bit.
It did. It moved forward. So.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I got this thing. What about now?
That's better.
Yeah, I got this thing rednecked, man. I'm telling you, I got the mic hanging from the ceiling. I got the camera on a cabinet on a closet door. I got this thing straight up redneck. It's but kind of proud of myself.
Yeah. That is a pretty turquoise desk they have in that room.
Yeah, whatever the hell the color is. So 2 days here, and then we'll return home Thursday. Today's Tuesday, yeah.
Right.
So Thursday I'll be back at the house.
Yeah, last night got to see the planetary alignment.
Yes.
Kind of interesting.
And on my birthday on the 28th, everything comes together.
Oh, cool. Yeah, in August.
Uranus, all the big ones come together on my birthday. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, no, 28th of August.
Yeah,
28th of August.
So be kind of curious, where you at, bro?
I am in Dumageddon, home of the gentle people. That's what it brands itself. It is a whole nother island. And getting the girl enrolled in college, and her best friend is coming to take a test. She's already got accepted scholarship into another school, but she's taken the test to get a free scholarship to come to school here. So, did quite well on the other test. It's like a 3-hour test.
That's cool.
Yeah,
good job.
Will survive. So, tomorrow I'll wake up, go for a swim. I woke up at 4:30 this morning for whatever reason.
That's not a bad.
Went to the gym. And came, and we finally get here about 3 o'clock this afternoon. We were late, but it is what it is. Hot day today. I'll get you updated with the forecast on the way. Today is Audacity to Hope Day. Imagine that. Hug Your Cat Day. Bathe your. Wouldn't that be nice? Bathe your cat. National Cheese Day. Clean Beauty Day. National Safe Day. Old Maids Day, and Shopping Cart Day going on all day today. Lauren Boebert flipped out at the moderator of the Republican primary debate after he asked her about her frisky little Beetlejuice groping moment in September.
Okay.
He wanted to know if Beetlejuice is the only one that she has groped.
That's just awful.
Yes. Look, she's a single woman. She can do what she wants.
Yep.
And God bless her. And so.
So why is it that the left always try to make a deal out of this kind of thing, unless it's their guy?
Well, and the left has no problem at all with in San Francisco this week. Giant penises all over the place, kids at school with, penises suction cup to their forehead. They have no problem with that.
Right.
But two grown now adults getting frisky at a theater, we can't handle that. Whatever. God bless you. All right, we're going to get into Dr. Fauci. We'll get into that. Embattled ex-mayor Rudy Giuliani recently celebrated his 80th birthday with family and close friends. And Rudy, he's got a lot of legal trouble. Which is so sad because the legal expenses alone could bankrupt anybody. I mean, look at the money that Trump has spent on legal defense. Crazy. Right. For the record, Donald Trump now is a convicted felon and cannot travel to Canada or England, to which he said, I got no plans anyway.
Right.
And when I become president, I'll make sure and I'll get rid of the felon. So not a problem. Former Dallas Cowboy Hall of Famer Larry Allen died suddenly at his home Sunday while on vacation with his family in Mexico.
Oh, man.
How old was he, Tom?
Had to be in his late 50s at least.
Yeah, 52.
I would say early 50s.
Early 50s.
Yeah.
That's young.
52 years old. Unbelievable.
He was an all-pro offensive tackle for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean the guy was the real deal. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, 612, brand new sponsor to the morning show. Our buddies at Custom Construction and Roofing. All the hail that just came through. If you need a quote, and these guys will work with the insurance company. They can take care of. They're the insurance specialists. Licensed, bonded, and insured, locally owned and operated by a veteran. And they've got over 30 years of experience. They are rated with the Better Business Bureau, got an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and have had that A-plus rating for more than 30 years. Call them today, and Dwayne Pinnick will get you a free estimate, 575-318-9725. A Custom Construction and Roofing. They urge you to be aware of unlicensed, out-of-town contractors, especially the ones that come from out of state, whenever we have a hailstorm. Check them out today. By the way, the unlicensed guy, they're gone as soon as the check hits the bank. So beware, please, of that. We'll check the weather coming up in a second. Dr. Fauci. One word to describe Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Evil.
Tom, what would be your word?
Crook.
Dr. Fauci yesterday, and God bless Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yep.
I will play the cut. Some people are offended that she cussed. I'm not. I mean, I've been a cusser from way back when, so I'm not offended by that type of stuff. So I will get to that. And the Border Patrol coming out and talking about Joe Biden, this executive order. Oh, now you can do an executive order?
Well, yeah.
All this time you couldn't do an executive order.
We're closer to the election.
Oh, is that? That's what that is. Right. Oh, wow. By the way, we'll hear on the tweet of the day from the vice president of the Border Patrol Union. Who caused this mess? We'll get to that. And we'll even do a flashback to 2020 election, a debate with Joe Biden.
Okay.
So we'll get to that. And Ted Cruz talks about what could be coming down the pike with Joe Biden. Roswell man accused of fatally shooting his roommate. The Roswell Police Department arrested 38-year-old Roman Hernandez for the fatal shooting of a 50-year-old roommate. Roswell PD says Hernandez called 911 after 5 p.m. on Friday. They believe that he moved the victim from a bedroom to the kitchen and put the gun that he used in his vehicle. They believe Hernandez and the victim were arguing and that Hernandez was intoxicated at the time of the shooting. Hernandez has been charged with involuntary manslaughter and tampering with evidence. I got a problem with not even murder, involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah, they need to. It's New Mexico. I've just come to expect.
That's exactly what it is. All right, Tom, I want you to keep an eye on the Bluetooth fire. If you would, give me a report coming up in just a little bit, if you would. I'd put me a little place saver here to remind you to get me an update, if you would. In New York City, how many hotels? There's 680 hotels in New York City.
Whoa, that's a bunch.
That's probably accurate.
How many are used as migrant shelters?
600.
No. I'm going to
135.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Complete. I'm talking about 135 are completely booked up with immigrants, illegal aliens. 135. Who's paying for that?
You and me.
And why is that? Because we have homeless people all over the place. Are these people better than U.S. citizens sleeping on the streets?
Well, according to the government, excuse me, according to Bill, I almost said Bill Clinton. According to
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, according to him, yes.
Oh, okay. I was just double checking there, trying to figure this stuff out. All right, let's check the weather. We'll talk about Hunter Biden. He's got his case started yesterday. We'll get to that in just a second. Quick check of the weather. Another hot day today. Weather being brought to you by Maine Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without Maine Trailer Sales, serving southeast New Mexico, based in Roswell. 2 lots in Roswell. 575-622-1751 to go to Maine Trailer Sales Inc.com. Don't go camping without Maine Trailer Sales. 70 years in the business. 70 years in the business. You know why they've been around that long? Great customer service and fair pricing. And service after the sale. Go to the website, MaineTrailerSalesInc.com for more information. 101 today, 68 tonight, and then another warm day tomorrow, but it will only be 97. But Thursday and Friday, we're back in the hundreds. So it's not going anywhere. And I see no rain to break it up at all. Check on the weather being brought to you by Zia Guns. Zia Guns, 1907 North Main in Roswell. Over 1,000 firearms in stock, handguns, rifles, shotguns. Trade in your old gun to get a better gun. And ladies, if you've been thinking about buying some personal protection, go in there and talk to them. Looking for ammo, they have a huge supply. Looking for optics, looking for accessories. They've got all of that and more. 1907 North Main in Roswell. Closed Saturday, always open on Sunday. Check them out today. Tom and the text. I'll give you the question of the day coming up next.
Mark from Lovington is reporting a bad wreck in Artesia at 285 and 13th Street. 2 semis are involved, and 285 currently is closed. That according to Mark. And good morning, guys. Today is the last day.
Traffic update being brought to you by Luke Ragsdale, RagsdaleLawFirm.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Smokey says today's the last day to hear those campaign ads. Go to the polls, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important. Today is election day. No doubt about it. And I think, B, you mentioned it, but this texter saying, did y'all hear Marjorie Taylor Greene go off on the Liberal about
I've got it. I had to do some editing, but I've got it.
That's Adam this morning. So,
the question of the day this morning, worst childhood memory.
Ooh.
One of the worst childhood memories that I had growing up was back in the day, there was a serial killer in my hometown. And my mother and father were freaking out because this guy was kidnapping people and killing him. They ended up finding him. Now, look, I lived in a very, very different type of, kind of like Hobbs, kind of like a transient population. A lot of people coming from the oil and gas industry, Morgan City, Louisiana, my hometown. A lot of people coming and going because of the oil field. At one point, you could do roustabout work, and you could probably start a job and quit a job, start a job and quit a job, and you would never run out of roustabout gigs.
Right.
And there were man camps everywhere. So that's where this guy started. He started at the man camps, and then he started kidnapping kids and killing kids. And they chased him down, I want to say, in Indiana, and they put 6 bullets in him. He never stood trial. He raised a gun at them, and they smoked him like they smoked him like a turkey at Thanksgiving.
You know, you say he didn't stand trial. but you know, he was kind of found guilty.
Yeah. I can't remember that guy's name. I'm going to have to think about it for a second. Florida man arrested for criminal mischief claims that he was Mr. Monopoly. And born in 4/20/1969. By the way, he turned out that he was just trying to hide his name. And they did take him directly to jail.
It did.
Yes.
And I am going to go get a different boob now.
Oh, my Lord. Sorry, Blake.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I got a different one.
We asked for this yesterday, and it has happened. It has happened. Blake, remember we said, why is this juvenile why is this adult in a juvenile facility?
Right.
The murderer?
Yes.
Well, the judge thought the same thing. No more juvie for the convicted killer who escaped from the Bernalillo Youth Service Center yesterday. On Monday, the judge decided 19-year-old is going to jail. He's going to he's not going to be played around with.
Thank you.
Joseph Tomey now facing new charges that he escaped and he killed 2 people when he was 16 years of age. He's 19 years of age now, has no business being in a juvenile facility.
No.
So they're taking him to the real jail. He hasn't been sentenced on the murder charges yet, but he's going to real jail.
Well, that's where he should be held.
Yes.
Until sentencing.
Agreed. Yeah. That's where he should be, no doubt. Hunter Biden. Joe yesterday said, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of the man he is today.
Oh, God.
He has given me more kickbacks than anybody. I am so proud of him. So Joe was not at the trial yesterday, but Joe Biden was. She said, I'm so proud of you, Hunter. You have put more money in the coffers than anybody. Thank you. He could get 25 years in prison, even though I doubt very seriously if he does.
He'll be pardoned immediately by his father.
Yes. Could be fined up to $250,000. Could get 25 years in prison. And look, his sister-in-law will be instrumental in that case.
You mean the same woman that Joe Biden went to go visit right before the trial? Oh,
yes. And you have to remember that Hunter Biden, they are now speculating that Hunter Biden was sleeping with his brother's wife even before his brother passed.
That's nasty.
That's sad.
It is.
That is totally unacceptable. That is just sad. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Atlas Makeup Mirror, atlasmakeupmirror.com, 575-631-3189. Go to the website, atlasmakeupmirror.com. Go check them out on Facebook and Instagram. If you're on Facebook right now, go to Atlas Makeup Mirror. Check out all the videos that are up there. This mirror is like no other mirror on the market, and there's a reason for that. Rebecca Long doing a lot of traveling, and she couldn't find a great makeup mirror. She came home and said, I'm going to design one. And look, I bet her husband said, are you an engineer now? Nope, but I'm going to design it. I've got the idea, and then I'm going to have somebody else do all the electrical stuff. And they did.
Yep.
And now you can get one.
That's a good one.
Wait, this is a great story about a Southeast New Mexico lady that had an idea, had the passion to see it through, and now has the hottest makeup mirror on the market. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And they do make the wall mount mirrors now. But if you're looking for the one that you can travel with, it weighs less than 4 pounds and comes in a traveling case. AtlasMakeupMirror.com or call and talk to Rebecca, 575-631-3189. Check her out today. Tom in the text.
All right, morning, guys. I was watching last night. This is Big John, by the way. And they were saying that Biden was going to fill the strategic reserve at $77 a barrel. Now, when Trump filled it at $24 a barrel, they said he was showing favoritism to the oil industry, says Big John.
No, they didn't want to pay to refill it, if you remember that. Well, the Democrats, didn't want to pay it.
No, what he's saying is that's what they said on the news last night.
Yeah. And you know what's even crazier? I don't think Trump paid $24 because that's when the price went negative, and that's when he decided to fill the reserves up. And Biden said that we would make a profit by selling it to China. I want you to think about this. Let's say if it's 24.
Mm-hmm.
So we sold the strategic oil reserves to China.
Mm-hmm. Around 50.
Around 50. Now we're going to refill at 70 plus.
Yep. There went all your profit.
How much money did we lose per barrel, Tom?
Well,
we filled up at 24. We sold at 50. And now we're going to fill up at 70.
100.
We made 100 or lost 100?
Lost 100.
Yeah, your math is impeccable, as always.
Yeah, I mean, it's spot on. All right, tweet of the day. I got to get to the tweet of the day this morning, being brought to you by our friends, brand new sponsor to the show, Cold Brew Coffee Company. Check them out in Hobbs. In fact, get in there right now and get caffeinated. And if you're not one that likes coffee, they do have Red Bull drinks available for you. And you can pick up, some sweet treats for lunch. They have an awesome, awesome lunch. They are the only true cold brew coffee company around. Yeah, and it's coffee that everybody loves. Swing by Cold Brew Coffee Company. Check them out today, 236 East Navajo Drive, Suite 1100. They're right across the street from Tractor Supplies, next door to 2A Tactical. And you can even use DoorDash. Yeah, they're available via DoorDash. Cold Brew Coffee Company in Hobbs, amazing brews and bites. It's all awaiting you. Check them out today. All right, the tweet of the day. Let me get this ready. Tweet of the day. This guy is the vice president of the Border Patrol Union. His name is Art Del Cuello. And Art talked about this mess at the southern border as we approach Joe Biden doing what he said he couldn't do. Remember all this time he said, well, I can't executive order.
Right.
In his first 15 days, he wrote 24 executive orders. But he said he couldn't do it. Now he can do it. Here's the vice president of the Border Patrol Union.
Quite a mess, and people need to understand that mess was created by this administration. And if they were going to allow so many individuals to come into the country and ask for asylum, they surely had to have come up with a plan for those individuals that would not have an actual asylum claim. And once again, they didn't even plan for that. So when you start talking about mass deportations, that's obviously something that this administration should have thought of in the first place. Not everyone that's asking for asylum has a real asylum claim. In fact, the majority of them don't. So somebody's got a plan for them to go to the actual court case and show what their claim is. And unfortunately, you're just getting more smoke and mirrors by this current administration right now. I mean, you remember they had that FAST app at the border. That didn't work out. Again, I think it's just them reaching out, continuing to baffle the American public because they realize that, they created the mess and elections are coming up.
Yeah, and that's all it is. Ted Cruz, we'll hear from Ted Cruz coming up in just a second. Morning show.
The first president in the history of the United States of America that's anybody seeking asylum has to do it in another country. That's never happened before in America. You come to the United States and you make your case that I seek asylum based on the following premise, why I deserve it under American law. They're sitting in...
By the way, that was Joe Biden flashback to 2020. And the crazy thing about that is that Joe Biden said that most of the asylum seekers, they're not eligible for asylum, but they come in under that radar. Mm-hmm. And they never go to court, but they never leave either. In fact, some of them might even change their name. Half of them coming across the border, their real name is not the name that's given anyway. That's why they're throwing away passports. Right. Remember the guy a couple of weeks we had?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ted Cruz discussed the problem and what could happen Friday with Joe Biden.
Immigration order that's coming tomorrow. Joe Biden's going to stand up and say, we're securing the border. And you know what? I'm going to predict in the next 5 months, we're actually going to see the border numbers go down a little bit. Now, don't be deceived by that. It's just like the gasoline prices going down a little bit. They're doing this right before the election. They're doing it so the useful idiots in the corporate media will say, gosh, Biden solved the problem. Nothing else to worry about here. It is entirely fake. And we have had 11 million people invade this country because Joe Biden and the Democrats want 11 million people to invade this country.
11 million people. Well, 11 million mouths to feed. 11 million hotel rooms.
Now, if you listen to the Speaker of the House, he said that the numbers are actually probably closer to 17 million.
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. So, Tom, you think they're all coming for a better life?
You hope so.
Well, we can't live on hope, brother. I know that's the way you have lived your life, but we can't live on hope. Well, I hope I got enough money.
Well, unless you're an Obama poster. Remember, that was the big hope.
Oh, hope and change.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get some of that hope. All right, we're going to go to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Tom, I didn't ask you, what is the childhood nightmare? What is your
worst childhood experience?
Yeah.
God, I got a bunch of them.
Well, I'm asking for one. I'm over here without air conditioning on, about to take my shirt off. So if you could please just play along.
When I was in a wreck, and I had the wreck was so bad that I had another head that grew out of my neck, so swollen. That's what led to my brain tumor.
You had another head that grew out of your head.
Right.
Yeah. I want you to keep up with this, people, because yesterday we heard about basketball-size hail. Today, he had another head like he was a cyclops or something.
Well, they gave me 72 hours to live, and I made it. Been making it ever since. Hello.
He grew
Barely.
another head.
Yeah.
He had another head.
Oh, man. What happened to it?
Your
other head, what happened to it?
Well, it went away.
So it died?
Well, no, it just, the swelling went down. But it resulted in my brain tumor.
Well, we're sorry about that.
Yes. Yeah.
But, I mean, two heads are better than one, right?
I knew he was going to make some fun.
Look, I don't even know where to go with this, Kevin.
All right, Blake, your childhood nightmare.
Yeah, your childhood nightmare.
The worst ever.
Well, I don't remember one that would probably be the most trauma because I was 2 when it happened, so I don't remember that. But I do remember when I was a little bit younger, my mom really liked the Peter, Paul, and Mary version of Leaving on a Jet Plane. And so I must have been about 4 at the time. And she was a pretty good singer. And she would sing that song, and I thought she was really leaving. And I thought that, I was going to be there at the kitchen table by myself, and she was leaving. And then she laughed, and, So that was kind of traumatizing for a little bit.
You thought she was actually packing up and leaving.
Yeah, and, here I am, 4 years old, trying to eat a bowl of cereal or something, and my mom's like,
your old man was very upset, too. He was like, where the hell is she going?
Yeah, well, he was at work, so, I thought I was going to be by myself.
All right, I'm going to play Marjorie Taylor Greene's Her Cut coming up next. Our number 877-396-W105. Morning show being brought to you by All American Cleaners. All American Cleaners. Wash, dry, and fold your clothes 17 pounds for $16.99. Roswell, Artesia, Carlsbad, Lovington, and in Hobbs. They can also do your dry cleaning, starch everything up, keep you looking good. AllAmericanCleaners.net for more information. I got the thought for the day. I'll get you updated with that. Also, I've got we haven't done the price of oil. I'll get to that coming up in just a second. All right. Let me get to Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's fired up. Just a little fired up. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Scientists made $710 million in royalties from drug makers, a fact that's been hidden. Let's talk about the fact about, is it right for scientists and doctors getting paid by the American people, government taxpayer paychecks to get patents, where they're paid millions and hundreds of millions of dollars in royalty fees, especially when the NIH and these government agencies, most powerful agencies in our country, are recommending medical suggestions and advice and making up guidelines like 6 feet distancing and masking of children. Do you think that's appropriate? Do the American people deserve to be abused like that, Mr. Fauci? Because you're not doctor. You're Mr. Fauci in my few minutes.
They lost their minds when she would not call him Dr. Fauci. But after all of that, the arguing back and forth, they basically said they were going to have to remove her. Out in the hallway, here's what she had to say. And I had to edit this because Marjorie Taylor Greene dropped the F-bomb while being interviewed. There are some people that take offense to that. I don't. We need passionate leaders. And she cusses. It's okay. She is a spark plug. She is a fighter. No problem with me. None. No.
The American people feel is what we know to be a fact. It's all the evidence has been proven true. We have Jamie Raskin in there accusing us of worshiping Trump, worshiping as a convicted felon. Well, yeah, so is George Floyd. And everybody, and you all too, the media worship George Floyd. Democrats worship George Floyd. There were riots burning down the country over George Floyd, and Raskin is in there saying we worship him. Excuse me, let me correct you, and this is really important. I don't worship, I worship God. God. And Jesus is my savior. I don't worship President Trump. And I'm really sick and tired of the bullshit annex I have to deal with constantly from the Democrats. So that's what we just went through in there. And then they're sitting there, they can attack my character all day long. What's his face in there, whoever was talking last was calling me insane, but yet we can't say, oh, they're attacking my character. Oh no, it's nonstop BS and annex. You want to know why? The Democrats don't have anything. They're responsible for the lockdowns, forced vaccinations, kids being forced to stay home, people committing suicide, and all the horrors that this country lived through during COVID. Fauci belongs in prison. He should be tried for mass murder, and he should be tried for crimes against humanity. That's how I feel after that hearing. That's how the American people feel.
Blake, anything that she said that was not right?
No, she was spot on.
Yeah. And I mean, here's the deal. She's 100% right.
Yep.
So if Tom is working for me, and so I used the smiley face. Remember the smiley face? Everybody had the little smiley face back in the day.
Yellow.
Right.
That was designed by a guy at 3M.
Right.
So do you think he got the trademark? He made the money off that smiley face?
No. 3M.
3M did. So why is it that we have scientists that are using our labs and on our dime, and they invent something, and they get the money, and we don't? The taxpayers get screwed again?
Yeah.
Tom, you're okay with that?
That's a perfect point she made with that.
Yes. I mean, I think it's terrible.
If you're a scientist, whatever your field is, and you are working for the U.S. government,
and collecting paychecks.
Yes, work for hire, right, is what they call that. In the art business, like when I do comics, I'm work for hire unless I know ahead of time that I don't. It's that I have a part of it. If it's work for hire and I come up with a new character, that company, whoever owns that comic, gets the royalties. The best example I have is Deadpool. Rob Liefeld created that character when he worked for Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics owns the character, and they get all the royalties.
Wow.
Not Rob.
And that's the way it should be, because they invested in you.
Right. It's work for hire.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody goes to work today and, fills a truck up with, a lot of oil, Do they get to go sell that oil? No, it's not theirs. It's the same thing. Jim Jordan had this to say to Dr. Fauci, and Dr. Fauci actually admitted about the Wuhan lab. He admitted it. Thank you, Jim Jordan, for doing that.
Did U.S. tax dollars flow through a grant recipient to the lab in China? I'm sorry. Did U.S. tax dollars flow through a grant recipient to the lab in China?
Yes, of course. It was a sub-award to the Wuhan Institute.
And who approved that award?
Excuse me?
And who approved that award? What agency approved that award?
National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases.
Your agency approved that, right?
Yes, it did after.
Did that have anything to do with this downplaying of the lab leak theory?
No.
Nothing to do with it?
Nothing.
What?
Yeah. And just like this 6 feet distancing, he invented that. It wasn't science. He invented it.
Well, you remember Fauci said, I am science, remember?
Oh, he is. Yeah, he is science. Here's a guy, Dr. Richard McCormick. He's actually a congressman now. And he was working, if anybody had experience with COVID, it would be Dr. Richard McCormick. They took him off of social media. They basically said he was a loon. Well, he ran for Congress and won, and here's what he had to say. Doctor?
I want to point out that I'm probably the only member of Congress that actually treated patients during the pandemic from the very beginning, the very end of the pandemic, during night shifts in the ER. Thousands of patients during that time. And in 2020, I was censored. My medical license was threatened because I disagreed with bureaucrats. Literally taken off the internet as a person who is treating patients with leading-edge technologies, developing theories, but doing my very best, but being censored by the United States government for the first time, stepping in and taking the place of medical professionals as the experts in healthcare. Any dissent surrounding COVID-19 treatments, mask mandates, and any public policy surrounding the pandemic was immediately labeled as anti-science. I watched as public health officials and politicians told my patients what treatment options were best for them, regardless of their comorbidities or their medical history. Despite my education and my training and my experience, my opinions were relegated to conspiracy, misinformation by so-called healthcare experts.
By the way, do you know the two doctors that, there are three doctors that are in Congress. All of them disagree with Dr. Fauci. All three. Ronnie Jackson, McCormick, and Rand Paul.
Yep.
All three don't like him at all. All right, we got to get to Thought for the Day. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get to the price of oil, things that happened on this date in history. We got a lot of things to get to this morning. Thought for the Day. Let me get to that now. Thought for the Day being brought to you by Wakefield Oil, serving Southeast New Mexico. Excellent service, dependable, boom or bust. They are there for you, gas, diesel, and more. WakefieldOil.com for more information. Thought for the day is, when life shuts a door, open it again. It's a door. You know how that thing works. Just open the door back up. It's the thought for the day, being brought to you by Wakefield Oil. I got a lot of things to get to coming up during the next break. Our governor was out of country again. Albuquerque City Council, they had a big decision yesterday. Are they going to be illegal friendly? Are they going to call ICE when a murderer is captured? We'll talk about that. A man that got convicted of molesting a child in 2017, and Hunter Biden's trial is set. We'll talk about the jury coming up in just a second. Tom, quickly, and I do mean quickly.
All right, so this text saying, leaving on a jet plane was written actually by a Roswellite, says this one texter. Oh, okay.
Well, John Denver's the one that made it popular. But
right.
So my mom liked the Peter, Paul, and Mary version.
And the worst childhood memory, getting lost in Austin, Texas on a transit bus, says the text, while in the second grade. That was Texas Tower Dog right there commenting on that. And half of Tom's brain went to the other head that he grew, says the texter. And you know what hope is, Tom? Hope is postponing disappointment. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we can't live on hope. Nobody lives on hope. Poor planning equals probably in the future poor times are coming. That my dad had a way of saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Piss poor planning equals piss poor results.
Yep.
Yep. So we can't live on hope. We need to have plans, legitimate plans. Continue.
And there you go. We're caught up for the moment.
God bless you. All right, we're going to get updated with the price of oil. Last week, Saudi and OPEC decided they are going to cut production, which will raise the price of oil. We'll get to that coming up in just a second. News this morning being brought to you by Rig Outfitters and the Home Store, Broadmoor Mall, Hobbs, America. They've got everything to go to work in the patch, boots, safety gear. Looking for FR apparel. They've got you covered. And they have furniture, appliances, electronics, all with zero down financing. Rig Outfitters and the Home Store right next to Scrub Outfitters. If you work in the medical field and you're looking for medical scrubs, they have Healing Hands, Met Coutures, Peaches, Dickies, and other big-name brands, plus one of the largest selections of compression socks. Even if you're not in the medical field, but you wear compression socks and you're looking for different colors besides white and black, they have a abundance of colors. Huge selection of colors and designs and comfortable shoes, too, and medical equipment. Check them out. Scrub Outfitters, Rig Outfitters, and the Broadmoor Mall. Taking a break. Let's qualify you for the cash. We're W105.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
Ben's Country Market in Artesia presents the Cash Blowout Contest on This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Getting the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Joe Miller. The Indios fire update: increasing winds, dry air causing that fire to spread through interior unburned pockets within the northern and southern areas of the fire perimeter. Despite those conditions, the overall acreage of the Indios fire decreased from the previous day to more accurate mapping of the incident. Firefighters increasing completion of operational objectives to nearly 60%. Crews continued to strengthen fire lines by masticating and chipping vegetation along the northwest and western perimeters of the fire area. Masticating vegetation is a forest management tool that involves reducing the size of forest vegetation and down material by grinding, shredding, and chunking or chopping it. Hobbs Board of Education last week unanimously approved a more than $218 million budget to keep the doors open and lights on and more during the new school year. Carrie Gray, Director of Finance for Hobbs Municipal Schools, told the board the largest outlay more than $127 million goes directly to supporting staff and students. Of that, more than $84 million paid out to cover staff salaries and benefits. Both salaries and insurance costs will increase next year after legislators mandated a minimum 3% across the board raise for school employees. Republicans outpaced Democrats in early and absentee voting in Eddy, Lincoln, and Otero counties. That according to data from the New Mexico Secretary of State. Early voting for the June 4 primary ended Saturday, with Democrats voting in larger numbers than Republicans across most of New Mexico. Democrats led Republicans across New Mexico. 327 Libertarians voting early or absentee. However, in Eddy County, 2,669 Republicans voted early or absentee during the early voting period, compared to 625 Eddy County Democrats and 12 Libertarians. That's what's happening. I'm Joe Miller, MTD Radio News.
Everyone is a kid at Cliffs.
I'm a Cliffs kid.
My mom was a Cliffs kid. My dad was a Cliffs kid.
My brother and sister are Cliffs kids.
Even my grandma was a Cliffs kid.
Be a kid. Get your tickets at cliffsamusementpark.com.
Over 30 rides and attractions makes Cliffs a blast for everyone. You never have to choose at Cliffs. You get it all.
Get your tickets at cliffsamusementpark.com.
Be one with fun.
This is Justin Wilson, candidate for Eddy County Commissioner, District 3. I'm a rancher and small business owner providing dirt work services in the oil field. I know the importance of industry in our county and the challenges of working together. Being raised on a ranch, I have very conservative values, putting God first, family second, followed by our constitutional rights. I will stand strong to defend our rights and ways of life. Road maintenance and transparency is of utmost importance in the county. I am Justin Wilson, asking for your vote June 4th for Eddy County Commissioner, District 3. Paid for by Committee J. Wilson, County Commissioner.
This is Davis Smith, the Guerrilla Lawyer, and I'm talking to you from my office on 3130 North Grimes in Hobbs, New Mexico. Our office has exploded with new clients. And do you know why? Fast settlements, fantastic customer service, and man, we love paying our clients money. If you get injured in a car wreck, you come see the Gorilla. Remember, if you get injured, you get the Gorilla.
Visit 3130 North Grimes or call 575-964-2720. That's 964-2720.
Vote EJ Forat for Chaves County Commission District 3. As a former state police officer and Chaves County magistrate judge, EJ Forat recognizes many of the issues faced and pledges to work with residents to resolve them. EJ Forat's work as a criminal investigations sergeant and other public safety work has given him firsthand experience and knowledge on the detriments of drugs and crime to Chaves County. A conservative Republican strongly supporting your 2A rights, please cast your primary vote for EJ Forat. Ad paid for by Forat for Chaves County.
This is State Representative Jim Townsend. I want to tell you why Candy Spence-Ezell is the best choice to be your next state senator. Candy is consistently ranked as one of the most conservative legislators in the entire New Mexico legislature. That's why the attacks on her in this race have been so ridiculous. The vote her opponent says was for illegal immigrants. Well, actually, that healthcare vote was to keep rural hospitals open during COVID, and every Republican in the legislature in Santa Fe that day voted for it, even the liberal Republicans supporting her opponent. The vote Candy's opponent says was for critical race theory was an education bill that, again, every Republican in the legislature in Santa Fe that day voted for. The attacks on Candy's characters are lies. Candy is a tried and true conservative Republican. Please vote Candy Spence-Ezell for State Senate.
Paid for by Candy Spence-Ezell for State Senate District 32.
If you, your business, or your organization is needing a venue or facility to host a meeting, convention, party, or other special event, don't cram everyone into your tiny little office. Call the Lee County Event Center. You don't have to fill up the main floor. The Event Center has many other smaller rooms that are perfect for meetings, seminars, parties, and other special events. The Lee County Event Center, seating for 25 or 2,500. 5101 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs. Call 575-391-2100 or visit leecountyevents.com.
I want to wake America up.
Be in the Breakfast Club, broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio. Text line at 877-396-W105. Powered by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer. Question of the day brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply, your Napa dealer.
I got to keep wearing it, but don't tell them I didn't have it on when I walked in.
877-396-W105. I guess I didn't turn off the air conditioning. I'm out of my studio, so it's a little different. Hold up a second.
Yeah. Get over there. Boom,
It's a little different, and without air conditioning, it's a lot different.
Well,
a lot different.
You're over. Not only do you have the heat like we do, you also have the humidity.
Oh, the humidity is the killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. The heat is a killer, but yeah. Humidity, not good. We're going to talk about Hunter Biden. Do you know there's one thread that connects pretty much even the jurors to Hunter Biden? They all know somebody that was, a drug addict or somebody that maybe died from drug addiction. They said that is the thread that ties all of this together.
Really?
And it is in Delaware, so it is going to be a little different.
Huh.
Everybody knows the Biden family. Is that going to play a part in this? It could.
It could. I mean, there were some that got released because they said that other trials seemed like they had been politically motivated and stuff like that.
Yeah. So All right, we're going to get to talk about Hunter Biden's case coming up in just a second. Check out the weather. It's going to be hot today.
It is.
Weather being brought to you by WWRV times3.com. That means they have 3 RV parks in Carlsbad, 162 RV hookups. And they all come with 30 and 50 amps, all your utilities for one low price. And that one low price, it includes wired internet right to your hookup. So when you are on your days off or when you're off of work, you enjoy gaming or streaming movies, this is not going to be a problem because you have high-speed internet wired right to your hookup. They're pet-friendly, very well lit up. If you're working around Carlsbad and looking for a nice RV park, go to the website today, www.rvtimes3.com or 988-0392. 100 for the high today, 68 tonight, 97 tomorrow, and then 101 on Thursday. I see no rain in the forecast. All I see is 100-degree well, let me take that back. Slight chance of rain Friday night. Want to keep up with it? Just go to W105radio.com. Tom in the text, if he is back, will continue to qualify. Oh, my God. I can't believe it.
You know, I want to do another plug real quick for our website, W105radio.com, because you mentioned the weather there. But we got all kinds of other stuff, too. If you missed a past episode of Be in the Breakfast Club, you can go watch them there. There's country music news going on all the time there and a whole string of other things over on our website. If you haven't bookmarked it and you're not checking it daily, you need to.
And the same thing with W105 on Facebook. And I encourage you, I am always putting up memes and videos at Be in the Breakfast Club on Facebook. So please go and and we'd appreciate that so much. All right, Tom, price of oil this morning being brought to you by our buddies at Spinnaker, Oilfield Cementers, and Cut Energy. Together, they are hiring. In fact, they have a training program, service supervisor in training program. CDL is required. They're also looking for diesel mechanics, electric technicians, equipment operators. CDL is required for that position, and they're looking for pressure pump hands, experienced pressure pump hands. Housing's available. They offer great pay and one of the best benefit packages in the industry. Apply today, greatoilfieldjobs.com, or text Oilfield to 63566. Equal opportunity employer, drug-free employer.
West Texas Intermediate, $72.82, 77.09 for Brent crude, and the price of natural gas, $2.82. B.
So Joe Biden was out and about on Monday. Had a lot of things to say at a rally. Here's something Joe Biden had to say about Donald Trump's character.
I'm not going to let Donald Trump turn America into a place that doesn't believe in honesty, decency, and treating people with respect. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let Donald Trump turn America into a place filled with anger and resentment and hate.
I will be damned. Get off my lawn, Donald Trump. Get off my lawn. And, being from Louisiana, I know something about the Landrieu family. Mitch Landrieu talks about, look, if anybody could screw up a place, it's the Landrieu family. Whole family in politics. Politics has been very good for them. They got paid a lot of money. Well, now he's a Democratic strategist for the Biden campaign, talking about inflation. Mitch Landrieu.
The issue of inflation. Inflation is too high. Prices are too high, which is why the president of the United States has been working to lower costs.
He's working. How can you work to lower the costs? We live in a free market society, don't we?
We do.
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out how you lower the cost.
Well, a couple points here. Remember when costs or the price of things goes up, his little press secretary is out there. We don't control that. We can't have any input on that. Right. And 100%. Now when they say that he's trying to control it, that means behind the scenes, he's making threatening phone calls to company officials.
Well, and last week he said oil and gas companies were making too much money. He has never called Apple and said, you guys are making too much money. He has never called a hospital and said, you guys are making too much money.
Mm-mm.
Why pick on oil and gas? He has never called a solar company in China, because that's where they're located, and said, those solar panels, you are making too much money. Or the lithium batteries, you're selling them for too much.
Or Hunter's drug dealer.
Or Hunter's drug dealer, or whatever, or Hunter's gun dealer, whatever the case might be. New study came out, Tom, based on Whoopee. It has a lot of unique health benefits for stressed out moms.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Study reveals that Whoopee can help mothers, especially with young kids, stave off the damaging effects of stress.
Interesting.
First thing I thought about was...
Did you just hear him?
What?
He did his noise.
What benefits?
That's what he's telling you.
Yeah, it's beneficial for women, Tom. Study, who was this study conducted by? I had to dig a little. Dads. That's who the damn study was done by.
Okay.
No, I have no idea who the study was conducted by, but they said that there are many benefits. And you don't believe that, Tom?
Well, there should be an app for that.
An app?
Yeah.
For human contact?
What?
Yes.
In your world, there should be an app for that. It's called Tinder.
Well, yeah, I was going to say there is an app for that to get Whoopee.
What the hell? Scientists discovering that poor money management could be the first signal for dementia and Alzheimer's.
Oh, yes, that's true. Actually, they've known that for a while. That's one of the early signs.
That kind of explains all the money that Biden's always given away, right?
Yeah.
And Tom living his life on hope, right?
And
hope is good.
And apparently apps.
No, hope is not good. Planning is so much better. Hope is for kids. Planning is for adults. Paramount Global, owner of Paramount and CBS, has agreed to a merger with Skydance Media through a private equity firm called Redbird Capital. According to CNBC, the deal leaves Skydance and Redbird owning 2/3 of Paramount, and with a Class B shareholders owning the remaining stock. And 30 years after police raided Herb Baumeister's 18-acre property in Indianapolis, a little north of Indianapolis, they are still sifting through 10,000 pieces of human remains.
Wow.
They believe this guy abducted and murdered a lot of teenage boys and young men in the 1980s and 90s. How many? They have no idea how many, but it is a ridiculous amount.
Wow.
We'll check the text coming up next. Albuquerque City Council rejected that proposal to alter the immigrant-friendly policy. Cheers went up in Albuquerque as the city council voted to not notify ICE if somebody was, arrested for a violent felony. No, we're not going to notify ICE because we're going to release them onto the streets, and they'll probably do it again. This policy prevents the city from helping federal offices of immigration deport people. This is what this does. It's not an immigrant-friendly city. What you are is an illegal alien enabler city.
Yes.
The bill introduced by 2 council members could have created an exception if an immigrant is charged with a violent felony, human trafficking, or drug trafficking. That's when they get in touch with the feds. But no, we are pro-immigrant. It doesn't matter if they're illegal or legal. Thank you. Thank you, Albuquerque. God bless you. All right, we'll talk about the governor coming up next. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Roadrunner Grill and Barbecue, 811 West Main and Artesia, serving up breakfast right now. Big, heaping servings of breakfast. That's one thing you can count on. They always offer huge portions. If you haven't been in there in a while, you ought to get in there. By the way, breakfast burritos are awesome too. 811 West Main and Artesia. They now have barbecue for lunch. Yes. At their new location, yes, Roadrunner Grill and Barbecue. Awesome barbecue. 575-736-2573. Get in touch with them today. Want them to cater your next party? They can handle that. You want them to prepare meals for everybody on location right now? Not a problem. Give them a call. 575-736-2573. Or stop at 811 West Main in Artesia. Tom in the text.
All right, this texter saying, laugh out loud. Tom's app for Whoopi, says the texter. And how about MTG for vice president? This other texter is suggesting. And congratulations to Adrian and the Orioles for winning the city championship last night. Congratulations.
My grandson, Tom,
did he? Well,
got himself another ring.
Congratulations to Adrian. That's for sure.
Yeah,
wow.
I talked to them last night. So, Adrian, way to get it. And by the way, great job hitting the ball last night.
Did a good job.
Keep your eye on the ball. Don't be a Tom.
Yeah, don't have an app for making whoopee.
No.
In the 70s, my uncle was an engineer for a major oil company, says this texter. He invented a better way to capture gas that became an industry standard. The oil company he worked for got richer, and he was still a real poor engineer afterwards.
Yep, that's exactly.
Look, I got a buddy of mine, Ray Robichaux. His dad had a fourth grade education. Fourth grade education. Worked for Halliburton for a gazillion years. Went out on his own, him and his partner, his best friend. And while they started their own business, they invented some type, I don't even know what it is, like a blowout prevention. It was something nobody else could do. Engineers had been trying to do this for years.
Right.
Here's a guy with a fourth grade education. You know what he had, Tom?
No.
He went to roustabout and got a master's in roustabouting. And on top of that, redneckology. So he designed this piece of equipment. Everybody wanted it. They ended up selling it, I want to think, back to Halliburton for like $20 million.
Wow.
So they were both set. Two Cajun, uneducated men that designed something engineers couldn't, because the engineers actually didn't work out in the field. That's a great story, Tom.
Right.
It is. They didn't live on hope. They lived on design.
Well,
I
created Morky and Porky. Can I still keep it?
Well, with that and a can of porking beans.
Yes. Yes, that is all yours. You can have every bit of it.
B don't like it, so I don't do it no more.
Keep going.
All right, Cactus from Carlsbad. She's chiming in. She says, I'm sure this is going to PISS some people, but I've been in schools as well, so I don't really care. Ha ha. Why on earth are we giving teachers more money? Mind you, they're highest paid in the country with the lowest education rate, when there are other places and things that we need money for. I'm not saying that there are not teachers out there that truly love to teach, but a big chunk of them are only there for the pay in summer.
I can answer that. Number one, New Mexico teachers aren't the highest paid teachers in the United States.
Yep.
There aren't. They were the lowest paid. They're mid-range now. And the other thing is, you can't find teachers. So if you don't pay these teachers more money, they're going to go into a different profession. And you're going to end up having to import all these teachers. There are a lot of people out there that complain, well, you're bringing in, foreign teachers. I got Filipino teachers teaching my kids. That's what happens when you can't find teachers. They bring them in from wherever else. And I'm not saying those Filipinos are not good teachers. Mm-hmm. Not saying that that's not the case. But sometimes the accent is a little different. It is.
Well, and I just looked up the highest paid annual mean salary for teachers. California, of course, is the highest at 92,000 a year. New York, 91,000. Yeah. Washington State, 88, and Massachusetts at 82. Now, if you go to the bottom states, South Dakota's bottom at 49, Mississippi 49, West Virginia at 50, North Carolina at 51, Arkansas at 53. New Mexico is pretty much firmly in the middle at 62.5.
Right in the middle. And I got to admit, I wouldn't go to work full time and put up with kids for $50,000.
Well, here in New Mexico, 62.5.
I mean, even 62.5, I don't know if I would do it.
I think Carlsbad is the highest in it.
This is by state, Tom, not by city.
No, but aren't we the Carlsbad is the highest here in the state?
I have no idea. I'm sure someone can tell us, but I don't know.
I don't know what school district is the highest. All right, Caitlin Clark making news. We're going to get, who's the experts on basketball? The View. I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, The View, they know their damn basketball.
They don't.
We're going to get to that coming up in a second. Looks like Governor Michelle Lujan Gresham. Where did she go? She went to, was it Norway or Sweden?
It was Norway.
And then after that trip, she went to another foreign country. She's just coming back from Costa Rica. She went to Costa Rica and met with the ambassador of Costa Rica, Cynthia Tellis. We shared ideas to strengthen ties through the state's partnership program of the New Mexico National Guard. Sounds to me like you went and laid on the damn beach.
That's what she did.
On New Mexico's dime with your husband in tow. There's pictures of them on the beach, and her husband has a long-sleeved button-up shirt.
I don't even know what to say.
Now, Costa Rica is a good place to retire right here.
Costa Rica would be a good place to retire, Tom, unless you have a lot of medical issues. Then it probably would not be that great a place.
It's more expensive than you think.
Is it really?
Yes. I mean, even in the Philippines, it is a lot more expensive than it used to be.
Yeah,
This ain't going to retire out there.
It's
Tom, you can't retire out of country.
Why not?
You medically, you can't leave. You're stuck, bro. You are stuck.
You have too many medical problems.
You got way too many medical problems.
And so do you. You live over there.
What kind of medical problems I have, Tom? Go ahead.
High blood pressure.
Okay, I got high blood pressure.
Your back,
and by the way, I'm down to like a half of what I used to be on. So go ahead. I'll wait for you. Go ahead. What else?
You wreck your motorcycle. What else?
That's not a health condition.
Right.
It was for 2 months.
That's called an accident, not a health condition.
What else you got? Go ahead. I'll wait for you. Go ahead.
Let's see. Well, your back. What else? Your neck.
And I woke up this morning, 4:30, went to the gym, Tom. So nothing holding me back, bro. Nothing. How was your gym day yesterday?
I went to swim.
Keep doing the same thing that gets you zero results.
That's what led to my loss of weight in the pool.
It is 7:15, Kevin.
Yeah. What loss of weight?
Polls
All right,
are
7:15. 7:15. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Seminole Siding and Construction. Trusted name across Southeast New Mexico. Exceptional construction and siding service. Hail damage to your roof. You need somebody, give them a call. They work with the insurance companies every day. They also can take care of your siding, your metal buildings, They do seamless gutters and more. And just a note, they do shingle roofs and metal roofs. So find them on the web at SeminoleSidingAndConstruction.com or 575-391-1430. Give them a call today. This was a cold case that Bernalillo District Attorney and the Albuquerque Police Department actually closed. This case dates back to 2017. Enrique Sanchez of Albuquerque is accused of second-degree criminal sexual contact with a minor and pled no contest. The crime reportedly took place in 2017. Officials claim Sanchez sexually abused a 7-year-old child of a woman that he was staying at the woman's property. It doesn't matter how cold the case is. The pursuit of justice, according to Sam Brigman, is going to continue. I got to say kudos going out to the Albuquerque Police Department, because that is the second cold case this week that they have closed. John Snyder finds love, Tom, 1 year after his wife died. Star of the Dukes of Hazzard. God sent a widower to his window. That's what he said. And so it looks like things are going strong. And they could be getting married, Tom.
Nice.
So, I mean, do you have a problem? I mean, his wife died. He loved his wife.
Very much. I did a couple of Comic-Cons with them as guests. And,
did you really?
And they were a super couple. They were really, really nice.
Breast cancer, I believe.
He loved his wife, but she died. And then this woman comes along. Do you continue to mourn, or do you?
No, I think he will. I think he always will. I don't think that goes away.
I think you'll always remember.
Yeah, I agree. Looks like the ultimate fate of that Arizona rancher. Remember that murder case? It's now in the judge's hand. This guy is 75 years old.
Well, didn't
Alan Kelly?
Wouldn't he wasn't acquitted, but wasn't it a hung jury?
Yeah, it was a hung jury, so they have the opportunity to bring the trial back.
I wouldn't.
Right.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen.
And how is it up to the judge and not up to the
DA
prosecuting attorney?
Well, it's up to, they said the case is now in the hands of the judge. That's what it says. Superior Court Judge Thomas Fink will decide whether to dismiss the case without the opportunity of a new trial. It says it's in the judge's hands. And Biden, Joe Biden, former President Donald Trump, committed to tracking down and returning migrant kids to their parents, even if it's in another country. He said that under Joe Biden, there have been so many kids that have been brought into slavery and sex slavery and all kind of other stuff. Donald Trump said that if he's elected, he will do something about this. Somebody needs to. And Hunter Biden, the jury is set, 6 men, 6 women, 1 former Secret Service employee. Case in Delaware. I don't know if they convict him. I don't think they will send him to jail.
They ain't going to send him to jail.
I think there'll be probation and restitution. That's probably it. It's Delaware. I don't see it happening. What do you think, Blake?
I don't see it happening either. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. All right, when we return, we're going to get to the View, the basketball. These people ought to be working in the NBA, not WNBA. They ought to be working in the NBA. They talked about Caitlin Clark, too. There's lots of talk about Caitlin Clark. There's so much Caitlin Clark.
Jealous of her. My goodness.
We'll get to that. They are throwing her around like a rag doll. Crazy. Tom on the text. Get to it.
All right. Maybe bringing in teachers that would stop this BS of teaching our kids all the LGBTQ and their personal political views, says the text. Yeah, bring in those teachers. And how much are you weighing? Last I checked was 272. What, anybody? Blake? And did y'all know that 900,000 barrels of oil reserve was sold to Unipec, America's subsidiary, pronounce that for me? Subsidiary of the Chinese government-owned gas company Sinopec, which then received billions of dollars from the BHR Partners, which is a private equity from co-founded by Hunter Biden, who had a 10% stake, which profited off the sales of our oil reserves, says the texter.
Well, the whole idea of selling it to China is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Treasonous.
What it is. Definitely what it is. And MLG is showing that she can fulfill the duties of vice president under Newsom by going to all these different countries. This texter is saying this morning.
Oh, that would be a hell of a campaign, right? The two governors that give more tax dollars away. The only difference is Gavin Newsom, what is his deficit now? It was 36.
Yeah, see, and then, we had numbers as high as 70.
Yeah.
And you just don't know. But she is a follower. She is not a leader.
She loves Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, whatever he does, she is right down there.
Carbon copy.
Yeah.
No wonder we have the lowest graduates and the learners in New Mexico. This one text is saying this morning.
Look, our state is throwing a lot of money at education.
Mm-hmm.
And more money doesn't always equate to better results. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. I've seen it in the radio industry. People throw a lot of money building nice studios and this and that, and they never make that money back. Where if you just do a good studio and put out a better product, that sounds to me like a better plan.
Take, for example, today. Tom and I are here in this good studio, and there you are.
Working without air conditioning.
Yeah.
And the Dumagetti filter, and I am dripping with sweat.
Well,
because air conditioning makes too much noise in here.
Take a break and turn on the air conditioner real quick. We need one anyway.
All right, we're going to talk about the Trump trial. Also, The View breaks down Caitlin Clark. We're going to get to that. Hot day today. Weather being brought to you by our buddies at the Hobbs Airfield Speedway. Jamal, give him a call, 575-631-5099. Friday night, June 7th, they are racing TNT and the Grudge races. You don't want to miss Friday night. Gates open at 6. Spectators, $15. Tech cards, $30. You want to race, you have to have a helmet. Get in touch with Jamal, 575-631-5099. Maybe you're in Texas and you haven't been to the Hobbs Airfield Speedway. Go check them out, Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok. And don't forget, kids under 12 get in free. Hobbs Airfield Speedway, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. High today, getting up to 168 tonight, 97 tomorrow. We're going to keep you updated with everything going on. News being brought to you by North Star Laundry, one-stop shop for all your laundry. They can wash, dry, and fold your clothes, dry clean your clothes, press them up, keep you looking good. They can also allow you to do all that. Yeah, they have coin-operated machines, and they're open 7 days a week. Find them 609 West Lee in Carlsbad, 604 West Church Street in Carlsbad, and 406 West Cedar in Loving. Check them out today. KWMW, Malchamore 105.1 FM, National Anthem and the Pledge is on the way right now, taking a break, qualifying you for the cash. Then we'll check in with news on W105.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
Ben's Country Market in Artesia presents the Cash Blowout Contest. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now.
Call now.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Partially closing the asylum processing along the southern border. A move expected today from President Biden.
It would shut down the border once daily encounters hit 2,500, and that it would only reopen once that number declined to 1,500. Also, reportedly, the president is using a section of the Immigration and Nationality Act called 212F to enact it. By the way, the same authority Trump used to ban some Muslim countries.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins at the White House. Opening statement set for 9 a.m. Eastern in Hunter Biden's federal gun trial.
One who worked for the Secret Service, one whose father was killed by a gun, at least half themselves or have family members who own firearms. At least 5 have had friends or family affected by drugs. Fox's Rich Edson in Wilmington, Delaware. America's listening to Fox News.
This is Chad Hamill, and I'm running to be your next senator for District 32. My opponent, Candy Azell, can't defend her 20-year record in the Santa Fe swamp, so she's attacking other people's families and kids on the radio. That's the difference in this race. Candy attacks other people's kids while I'm running to protect yours. And on my record, as a fire chief, I have seen the devastation of open borders. Fentanyl overdoses are out of control. As a small business owner here in the community, I know firsthand how politicians in Santa Fe have destroyed small businesses for our communities. As a previous school board member, I know local control has been ripped away from our schools. It is time for a change. The same old just isn't working. I will be your conservative voice in Santa Fe. Career politicians have gotten New Mexico into this mess, but as a firefighter, I've made my living running towards problems, and I'm ready to fix the problems. I humbly ask for your vote on June the 4th so we can put the fire out in Santa Fe. Paid for by Friends of Chad Hamill.
This is Deanne Kimbrough, and I'm running for Lee County Commissioner, District 1. Early voting has already started, and it's important that you get out and vote in the primaries, as this race will be decided there. I'm a lifelong Republican and everything that stands for, and I'm asking for your vote, Deanne Kimbrough, Lee County Commissioner, District 1.
Paid for by the committee to elect Deanne Kimbrough, Junior Hernandez, Treasurer.
Lee County is full of people who love to be here, full of people who care about Lee County roads, Lee County schools, Lee County police and fire, and most of all, full of people who care about the future of Lee County and Lee County children. Re-elect Pat Sims for Lee County Commissioner, District 5. Pat has proven he will work hard for the people in Lee County. Re-elect Pat Sims for another 4 years.
Hi, I'm Pat Sims. I love Lee County, and I know you do too. I'm asking for your vote to re-elect me as your District 5 Lee County Commissioner. Thank you.
Paid for by Pat Sims.
Hello, this is Deborah Hicks for New Mexico House District 62. I am your only candidate active in the New Mexico legislative process from bill to law. I'm running because I want to see New Mexico flourish again. With crime at an all-time high and as an NRA lifelong member, I will defend our Second Amendment rights. I will help to extinguish the battle against oil and gas, and will focus to increase economic development and decrease government spending. Lee County needs your vote for Deborah Hicks.
Paid for by the committee to elect Deborah Hicks.
Hello, everyone. I'm State Representative Catherine Brown. I serve Carlsbad, Otis, Loving, Malagajal, and Eunice in the State House of Representatives. I'm running for re-election, and I'm asking for your support once again. I'm on the front lines in Santa Fe fighting hard for families, schools, and businesses. I vigorously defend constitutional rights, including the right to keep and bear arms. I strongly support local industries such as oil and gas, potash, nuclear, ranching, and agriculture. Please vote for me, Catherine Brown, on June 4th.
Paid for by committee to re-elect Catherine Brown, David Fritchie, Treasurer.
In the race for state senate, after all the political noise, there is one issue that matters most to voters. Every job in our area depends on the survival of the oil and gas industry. Which candidate will best protect our oil and gas jobs? That's easy. It's Larry Scott. He's been in the oil and gas business for over 40 years. He fought for our industry, for our jobs, and for us in Santa Fe. He stands up to progressives who hate oil and gas and who want to kill our vital industry. Make no mistake, progressives have vowed to outlaw oil and gas. That's why we must vote for Larry Scott for state senate. Ask anyone who knows this business and they will tell you they're supporting Larry Scott. His opponent, Steve McCutcheon, lacks the ability and knowledge to defend this important industry. Southeast New Mexico loses if Steve McCutcheon represents us in the Senate. That's why we need Larry Scott. Vote for oil and gas. Vote for our jobs. Vote for Larry Scott.
This ad paid for by the committee to elect Larry R. Scott, New Mexico State Senate District 42.
This is State Representative Jim Townsend. I want to tell you why Candy Spence-Ezell is the best choice to be your next state senator. Candy is consistently ranked as one of the most conservative legislators in the entire New Mexico legislature. That's why the attacks on her in this race have been so ridiculous. The vote her opponent says was for illegal immigrants. Well, actually, that healthcare vote was to keep rural hospitals open during COVID, and every Republican in the legislature in Santa Fe that day voted for it, even the liberal Republicans supporting her opponent. The vote Candy's opponent says was for critical race theory was an education bill that, again, every Republican in the legislature in Santa Fe that day voted for. The attacks on Candy's characters are lies. Candy is a tried and true conservative Republican. Please vote Candy Spence-Ezell for State Senate.
Paid for by Candy Spence-Ezell for State Senate District 32.
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to us. Short on wind, long on opinion.
And I'm going to mispronounce. I'm not going to try.
B and the Breakfast Club.
Beyond the Breakfast Club, another day, another 55 cent, taking out the trash. Things that happen on this date in history. We'll get to all of that. And, of course, The View, the basketball experts. When I want to hear about basketball, I watch The View.
That's where you go
Nobody
first.
does it like Whoopi. No. Joe Biden photographed making an appearance at her stepson Hunter Biden's gun trial. Jill was there to support Hunter, knowing that the only thing he's guilty of is pulling out his love gun and sleeping with prostitutes. That's about it.
No,
and,
he's guilty of this too. I mean,
yeah. By the way, there is like a travel trove of information on the laptop.
Yes.
Only if they would believe that the laptop was his.
Well, you know, they kept putting out these fake stories about Russian propaganda trying to interfere with the election.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Video of a 5-foot lizard in the North Point, Florida, is going viral. 5-foot lizard.
Wow.
Tom, would that scare you?
What do you...
What is that?
Well, he's as tall as Godzilla. I watched that movie last night, by the way. But that big old lizard. -1?
Yes.
You watched the new movie?
Yes.
The Godzilla.
It's a good movie, isn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
How did you watch the new movie?
On Netflix.
Yes, on Netflix.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whose Netflix account do you have?
I guess I got my brother's.
Oh.
He hooked it up for
you
me.
cheap bastard.
Oh, I didn't ask him. He just put it in there.
It's a really good story.
It's a love story.
Just by itself. And then it's a Godzilla movie on top of it.
Were they really lip syncing again? The Japanese actor?
They were not lip syncing. No, it's called dubbing.
I mean, dubbing.
The original is in Japanese.
Right.
You can watch it with subtitles and listen to the Japanese and read the subtitles. Or you watch the dub version.
Some movies they pull it off, and it's pretty good. Other movies, you're like, what the hell was this? Star Trek actor Zachary Quintino.
Yeah, he was in that TV show Heroes. He was the bad guy in that first, and then he became Mr. Spock in the latest Star Trek movies.
Really? So did you hear what happened to him? He's banned from visiting a Toronto restaurant after he allegedly mistreated the staff.
Yeah, he's a Hollywood bad boy. He is known for not being cordial to folks, like thinking more of himself than anyone else does.
Oh, yeah. Well, isn't that normal?
Yeah. Well, Alec Baldwin's a pretty good example of that.
Yeah, I would think that's pretty much normal. Looks like a check on CEOs running companies. S&P 500 shows that they are earning almost 200 times more than the average employee.
Okay.
As long as they're profitable, that's okay.
Look, when I buy stock in a company, I don't buy stock because the average Joe working there is doing their job. I buy stock in that company because the CEO or CFO or the leadership team is doing their job and making money.
No, I ran MTD radio for a long time, and I made more money than Tom, and I was never offended that I made more money than he did.
Well, you're the boss. Hello.
That's kind of the point.
I was never offended. Why should you be offended? Border mayors head to D.C. coming up today for an immigration announcement. Joe Biden's supposedly going to make this huge announcement just in time for the election. I'm going to shut down the borders. Imagine that.
Well,
why would he have done that like 3.5 years ago?
Except he's not. He's pushing this failed bill, right, that couldn't get support. So he's making that bill his executive order.
So
they will
how can he grant amnesty via an executive order?
You can't. But
that's what he wants to do.
When has that ever stopped him?
Right.
The Supreme Court
right.
told him that's illegal. You can't do that. And he still keeps doing stuff.
And nobody stands up to him. That is the problem. Eagle Pass, Texas, and Del Rio, Texas, El Paso, and many other mayors will be at the White House later on today as Biden announces a brand new commitment to fixing border issues. No, it's to grant everybody citizenship.
Well, and part of this border issue thing too is they say, remember, part of the provision was to, when it gets to a certain amount, we won't let any more through that are
5,000 a day
that are seeking asylum. That has nothing to do with illegal border crossings.
Right. But it does though, Blake, because 99.9% of these asylum seekers don't qualify for asylum.
Right.
So I want you to do the math. Tom, you're the math guy on the show.
Here we go, Tom.
5,000 a day.
5,000 a day.
So how many days in a year?
365.
So how many is that?
That's 1 million.
No, that's almost 2 million.
It's 1.8 million.
Yeah.
That's 1.8 million. So we're still allowing, look, under Trump, we allowed 500,000. The worst year Trump had, 500,000. And we're still going to allow 2 million?
Yeah.
And you call that acceptable? After you've let in 11 million? And look.
Somewhere between 11 and 17.
And a lot of the people we let in can't find a job, will not be able to find a job. Many of them are elderly, and some of them are disabled. Do you understand what that means? We are going to foot the bill for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
That's what that means.
Well, and again, this is let in that many.
Right.
This doesn't count the ones, the quote-unquote gotaways.
Yeah, 100%. All right, taking out trash this morning being brought to you by trash-eaters.com. Trash Eaters, they can take care of all your residential trash pickup and your commercial waste hauling needs. Call Kayleen this morning, 575-408-1719. And call her today. They have the poly carts, 96-gallon poly carts. They've got those. 2- and 4-yard dumpsters and the roll-off containers that Tom just loves. He loves the roll-off containers. So call them for all of that and more. Like locally owned and operated. And they are also, of course, veteran-owned and operated. Do business with great people. Give Kayleen a call, 575-408-1719. Call her today. Former violence intervention program manager pleads not guilty to battery in Albuquerque. Tom, did you get that? Do you want me to read it slower?
Yeah, I got it.
Former violence intervention program manager pled not guilty to battery charges. He was hired by the city of Albuquerque to stop violence before it started. He's set to go before the judge, facing violent criminal charges. Angel Garcia was the manager of the city's violence intervention program, quit his job with the city as he was accused of assaulting a woman. Garcia did not show up in court on Monday. Instead, he waived his arraignment and pled not guilty to battery charges. He was one of the first full-time employees for the city when it comes to violence intervention program. Garcia is a 4-time convicted felon himself and a former gang member from California. Some people a couple weeks ago had a problem with him because he was going into schools.
Imagine that.
Some people were not happy with it. And then all of a sudden he gets this charge picked up.
Oh.
By the way, he grabbed her by the hair and a woman and forced her to kiss him.
Man.
She says she could not breathe. He wrapped her arms around her throat. And all of this was caught on video, according to the police. Garcia's defense attorney did not make a comment on Monday. His case is going to end up probably at the end of the month. I'm taking out the trash. Some of these stories just they work on their own. They do. Bam. Conor McGregor, the fight is off. That fight was coming up in just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, he was spotted drinking at a bar. And he was trying to push this woman's head down.
Oh, my.
Yeah. As I looked at this, I was like, he's married, dude. June 29th. Fight was supposed to be in Vegas, but UFC canceled the press conference after rumors swirling from the club video. And supposedly the fight is off. They haven't officially announced it, but supposedly the fight is off. Tom on the text, our number 877-396-W105, 741, National Anthem, the pledge in just a couple minutes.
Ermi from Monument is chiming in. The border was kept open for them to increase Democratic voters and all the farm and minimum jobs that are being filed, says Ermi from Monument this morning. And Biden and the Democrats are full of poo-poo, and they're a bunch of liars, too, says this one text. And Tom, the dude from Lovington, is asking to actually pay for internet. Well, my brother gave me the little box.
He doesn't. That's not where he watches it.
Yeah.
He comes here to watch it.
Well, no. I got internet at the bus.
You do?
Yes.
Since when?
Oh, since a few months ago.
Oh, the cats are paying for it.
Yeah. And come on, Lee County, let's do our part and get out and vote. That's right, vote.
Everywhere.
The polls opened about 44 minutes ago. They'll close at 7, so get out there.
Every county if you can hear us, polls are open, go vote.
And kids today, they don't have any respect for teachers, says this one text. They get away with talking back, yelling, ignoring rules. And it's no wonder teachers are hard to find, says this texter.
That was part of what I said. I wouldn't put up with it.
Well, back in the day, they used to actually be able to discipline them.
Yeah.
Right.
No more.
Yeah.
And Mad Dog is chiming in and says, Gavin Newsom, the sleazeball, MLG, the BALL grabber, says Monty this morning. Okay.
Boston lawmakers considering defund the police again.
Idiots.
Yeah, crime has continued to go up. Way to go. During a police stop in Eddy County, a man was sitting in the back seat of his friend's vehicle. He soon learned not to lie to police officers, especially if they can easily find out that you're not telling the truth. Eddy County deputy arrested the man for drunk driving. On May 13th, one of his passengers asked the deputies how DWI's arrest worked in New Mexico, adding that he was a state trooper for the Department of Public Safety in Texas. Something did not sound right.
Right.
State officer called dispatch, checked it out, turned out that, nope, Michael Velos was not telling the truth. He was arrested and has pled not guilty to one count of impersonating an officer and filed a cash bond. Joe Biden on Friday. Did you see the video of him with the helmet on, the football helmet on?
No, I did not.
Oh, what a clown. What a clown.
Did it look
they
like
gave
Tom's
him
helmet?
No, it looked like he was a kid wearing like a professional football helmet.
Oh, what was the whole idea behind that?
It was huge. He looked like a damn bobblehead. That's what he looked like. He looked like a bobblehead. And Biden calling for a Gaza ceasefire because Hamas no longer has the capability of carrying out another attack.
No. How about we will call a treaty or a truce or whatever you want to call it, ceasefire, as soon as Hamas releases all the hostages.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the release of the hostages, and then release the hostages, and then says that they lost the war.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the way that should work.
Yep. Until then, keep getting rid of them.
Right.
No. Video shows a New Mexico man arrested for his 6 DWI, explaining why he was following a stranger. Woman frantically knocked on off-duty police officer's door late at night, asking for help, explaining someone was following her in a pickup. When police arrived, they found the driver of the pickup. That led to a 6 DUI. Matt Alonzo arrested for a 6 DUI, following this woman all around. By the way, he blew a .12.
Wow.
They also found meth on him at the same time. Yes. Mexico has a brand new presidente.
Yes. Who Tom says needs to stay in the kitchen.
200 years of independence. First woman to be the presidente.
I'll give her a shot.
Claudia Sheinbaum, 61. She's a scientist. She's a leftist. Former mayor of Mexico City. Where could that go wrong? Huh, Tom? A scientist and a leftist.
Can't bake.
How would that work out?
Did you say can't bake?
Yeah.
How do you know she can't bake?
She ain't making no tortillas.
What the heck?
She ain't making no tortillas.
Just doubles down, doesn't he?
All right, I got a bunch of stories. Pat McAfee walks back his profanity-laced statement about Caitlin Clark. At the same time, I will play the View. If anybody knows basketball, it's the View, no doubt. Check of the weather this morning being brought to you by our buddies at the Twin Wells Fuel Station right off of 128. Exit Buck Jackson Road and fill her up today. Twin Wells Fuel Station. Unleaded diesel, green diesel. They've got you covered with all of that. And they do accept all fleet cards, debit cards, and credit cards. So if you're driving this morning, you're on 128, exit on Buck Jackson Road. Tell you what, they are ready to do business. Yes, they are open 24/7, ready to go. And they remind you to be safe on the road. 100 for the high today, hot. Cloudy tonight, getting down to about 68, 97 tomorrow. Tom and the text, national anthem and the pledge, just a sec.
This text saying, I'm going to say it right now. Hunter Biden will be acquitted. Because I believe the jurors nowadays are scared for their lives because that's part of the liberal agenda. Make their names available so they can be intimidated, says the texter. It may be the case. And the McGregor fight is not canceled. What? The press conference was canceled, though, says the texter. That's
No, what I'm saying is rumors are that the fight is going to be canceled. They haven't officially canceled it yet. But
they'll make an announcement
most
sometime.
people in the know are saying it will be canceled.
Right. And the days are coming when America is going to find out why our founding fathers put the Second Amendment in, says this one text.
We'll figure that out.
And what did Hunter need to buy a gun for? Asked this one text.
Well, because he was paranoid because he was on crack cocaine.
Right. You know, I think that they should pass.
Let's think about this. At one point when he was on crack cocaine, didn't he have Secret Service protection?
I don't remember whether he did or not.
I think they did. I think he did.
Because as a presidential son?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I think that they need to pass a law that says if you vote against gun rights or against guns, that you and anyone you hire is not allowed to ever own a gun.
Yeah, that would be. I would go along with that for sure. All right, things that happen on this date in history being brought to you by 2A Tactical Firearms Indoor Firing Range, 236 East Navajo in Hobbs, veteran-owned and operated by my buddy Dwayne Pennick. Largest selection of firearms around, lots of ammo, lots of accessories for your guns. They also have the Milo FBI training simulator with over 1,000 different scenarios. Get in there and hone in your skills. They also have an awesome state-of-the-art gun range. If you want to go shoot for an afternoon, hey, you can pay by the hour, or you can sign up for the monthly membership. They have grunt-style clothing, tactical gear, and a lot more. They also have training, firearm safety training. You can enter a class one-on-one or as a group. 236 East Navajo and Hobbs, online at 2atacticalrange.com. Maria Thimble of France became the first woman to fly in a balloon.
Wow.
Year was 1784. Louisiana Territory was renamed the Missouri Territory on this date, 1812. Yeah, the maps were just all screwed up. Henry Ford drove the very first Ford-built truck or car down Bagley Street in Detroit. The year was 1886. During World War II, the Battle of Midway began. In 1942, Tom, why was it called Midway, the Battle of Midway?
Because it was in the Pacific.
Or it could be
Midway Island.
Yeah.
Midway Islands. The Monkees won an Emmy on this date in 1967.
They did.
Hey, what a monkey
Father,
is.
Outstanding comedy series.
Is that what it was?
yeah.
Yep.
Father's Day is a week from Sunday, in case you're keeping up.
I'm going to see my daughter.
Angelina Jolie is 49.
What?
She adopted so many kids, she earned the nickname the Womb Raider.
She's only 49.
Yeah. Yeah. 49 years old. Birthdays today.
Russell Brand.
Former tennis player Andre Yeager is 59. Al DeBarge is 63. Michelle Phillips, having a birthday from the original Mamas and the Papas, is 80 years old. Sex therapist Dr. Ruth Wethheimer is 96. 96 years old.
True. Russell Brand is 49 today.
Wow.
Oh, I miss Russell Brand. Tom, did you ever listen to Dr. Ruth Wethheimer?
Every once in a while when she was on TV.
Your ex wished that you did. Yeah. She really did. All right, I got a lot of things to get to. We'll keep you updated with everything going on. We're going to qualify you for cash. National Anthem and the Pledge on Beyond the Breakfast Club at 7:54, being brought to you by Rebecca Long, your of age. She started her business 40-plus years later, still helping people out. Stop in and check her out today in Hobbs, or give her a call, 575-393-2661. Look, if you're in Eddy County or Chaves County or anywhere in Lee County, she could take care of your insurance. Just call her on the phone. She could put together a quote designed to meet your needs. Home, auto, boats, recreational vehicles, commercial insurance, life insurance, and more. Her number is 575-396-2661. Call her today. Caitlin Clark. Whoopi Goldberg knows basketball. We're going to get to that coming up when we return. Right down the national anthem and the pledge on W105.
Good morning. My name is Chase Mazurek. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
The tiny but mighty 7-year-old singer from Los Angeles, Malaya Emma Chandragwijaya.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
God bless America. God bless you. Large prayer this morning being brought to you by Judah Oil, reminding you God is in control.
From Galatians 1 this morning, the work God wants you to do is this, to believe in the one that he sent.
This is Ashley with Judah Oil, and I ask that you join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who've trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
We're going to check in, find out what's going on with news, keep you updated with everything going on, qualify you for cash in just a second. News this morning being brought to you by Ragsdale Law Firm, Luke Ragsdale, 575-208-5300. Call him today, the guy that settles the big cases. $10 million case in the Patch, medical malpractice case for over $9 million. It was settled. If you've been involved in a car accident, a slip and fall, any type of injury, call Luke Ragsdale, 575-208-5300. Find him on the web, ragsdalelawfirm.com. We're coming back. We're going to keep you updated with all the news. Right now, let's qualify you for cash on W105.
Thank you for calling.
Ben's Country Market in Artesia presents the Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Getting the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Joe Miller. The Indios fire update: increasing winds, dry air causing that fire to spread through interior unburned pockets within the northern and southern areas of the fire perimeter. Despite those conditions, the overall acreage of the Indios fire decreased from the previous day to more accurate mapping of the incident. Firefighters increasing completion of operational objectives to nearly 60%. Crews continued to strengthen fire lines by masticating and chipping vegetation along the northwest and western perimeters of the fire area. Masticating vegetation is a forest management tool that involves reducing the size of forest vegetation and down material by grinding, shredding, and chunking or chopping it. Hobbs Board of Education last week unanimously approved a more than $218 million budget to keep the doors open and lights on and more during the new school year. Carrie Gray, Director of Finance for Hobbs Municipal Schools, told the board the largest outlay, more than $127 million, goes directly to support staff and students. Of that, more than $84 million paid out to cover staff salaries and benefits. Both salaries and insurance costs will increase next year after legislators mandated a minimum 3% across the board raise for school employees. Republicans outpaced Democrats in early and absentee voting in Eddy, Lincoln, and Otero counties. That according to data from the New Mexico Secretary of State. Early voting for the June 4 primary ended Saturday, with Democrats voting in larger numbers than Republicans across most of New Mexico. Democrats led Republicans across New Mexico, 327 Libertarians voting early or absentee. However, in Eddy County, 2,669 Republicans voted early or absentee during the early voting period, compared to 625 Eddy County Democrats and 12 Libertarians. That's what's happening. I'm Joe Miller, MTD Radio News.
This is Chad Hamill, and I'm running to be your next senator for District 32. My opponent, Candy Azell, can't defend her 20-year record in the Santa Fe swamp, so she's attacking other people's families and kids on the radio. That's the difference in this race. Candy attacks other people's kids while I'm running to protect yours. And on my record, as a fire chief, I have seen the devastation of open borders. Fentanyl overdoses are out of control. As a small business owner here in the community, I know firsthand how politicians in Santa Fe have destroyed small businesses for our communities. As a previous school board member, I know local control has been ripped away from our schools. It is time for a change. The same old just isn't working. I will be your conservative voice in Santa Fe. Career politicians have gotten New Mexico into this mess, but as a firefighter, I've made my living running towards problems, and I'm ready to fix the problems. I humbly ask for your vote on June the 4th so we can put the fire out in Santa Fe. Paid for by friends of Chad Hamill.
At Coffee Drilling LLC, they offer a wide range of drilling services, from small domestic water to agricultural and monitor wells. In addition to mud and rotary drilling, Coffee Drilling offers services to pre-existing wells, as well as troubleshooting of pumps and all control systems. Call Coffee Drilling today to schedule your routine maintenance or see about an upgrade to your water system. Call 505-270-1767. That's 505-270-1767. Coffee Drilling LLC, over 20 years experience and serving all of Hobbs, Lovington, and Eunice.
This is Justin Wilson, candidate for Eddy County Commissioner, District 3. I'm a rancher and small business owner providing dirt work services in the oil field. I know the importance of industry in our county and the challenges of working together. Being raised on a ranch, I have very conservative values, putting God first, family second, followed by our constitutional rights. I'll stand strong to defend our rights and ways of life. Road maintenance and transparency is of utmost importance in the county. I am Justin Wilson, asking for your vote June 4th for Eddy County Commissioner, District 3. Paid for by Committee J. Wilson, County Commissioner.
It's Kubota Orange Days. Shop the year's best selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. And now through June 30th, get 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,300 off L3302 tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Amigo Machinery, 2801 Southeast Main Street, Roswell.
My name is Greg Bowen. 2 months ago, my son Michael was stranded in Anchorage, Alaska. Michael had contracted a massive staph and COVID infection and was in dire condition in the hospital ICU. We were helpless, and his doctor advised us he would not survive a commercial flight home from Alaska. This is where Larry Scott literally came to our rescue. You see, Larry and his son Corey dropped everything. They flew from Hobbs, New Mexico to Anchorage, Alaska, picked up Michael, his wife, and flight doctor, and flew all the way back to Dallas. I don't know what my family would have done without Larry Scott making this angel fight happen for my son. I have heard this is the 4th time he has done this for other people like us. He literally saved my son Michael's life. I am forever grateful to Larry Scott. He is a man of true character, and I hope the people of New Mexico will remember that when you vote.
Paid for by the committee to elect Larry R. Scott.
Now back to the show.
Whoever said nothing is impossible is a liar. Tom A. has been successfully doing nothing for years.
While you were asleep, we simply took you to our little corner of heaven.
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to B in the Breakfast Club.
Tom A. back in the studio. I don't want to play Whoopi Goldberg without the basketball expert being back in the studio. So I'm going to have to
give him 10, 20 minutes.
I'm going to hold off a little bit. Bizarre craze sweeping China's primary school. Students are adding all sorts of smelly ingredients into a plastic bottle and creating a stinky recipe. These drinks are so disgusting that people are actually like, Bud Light tastes better than that. I mean, that's how disgusting it was.
Right.
So, by the way, that was Dylan Mulvaney. Yeah, that's why I did Bud Light.
And Tom,
I could have said Coors Light.
You could have, but no. I see how it goes. Tom would appreciate the Dylan Mulvaney reference.
Yes, so I had to throw old Mulvaney in there. All right, still to come. Got a lot of things to talk about still, and I do have The View, the Basketball Authority.
And our Basketball Authority is back.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Looks like this woman 2 years ago finally got diagnosed with what was wrong with her. She has auto brewery syndrome. Her body actually produces alcohol.
Get out.
She has a rare condition in which bacteria and fungus go together in her body, and it creates ethanol. Ethanol is what, Tom?
Ethanol is a type of gas.
My God, he sounds so smart this morning.
Well,
by the way,
said
this
gas,
condition, 300 people in the world have this condition. Her body actually
produces
gas, and because of the gas, she has been arrested multiple times on DUI. She didn't know what was going on. Doctors didn't know what was going on. It took forever to figure it out. All right, Caitlin Clark, The View. When we want to know about basketball, we go to The View because those women know basketball. Nobody knows basketball like Whoopi Goldberg.
They're not playing on the court. They're there to win. And just because they're women, get over yourselves. They're athletes.
So, get over. Look, she has been checked way, way too hard. It's a fragrant foul.
Yep.
And the WNBA ought to be doing something about it. Because what's going on right now, we have a bunch of women that are jealous of Caitlin Clark. But true story is, she has taken the WNBA to a higher place. People are actually watching the games.
Yep.
Without Caitlin Clark, I wouldn't know who half you women are.
Well, she's the Magic Johnson of the 80s. Remember, nobody's watching the NBA then Magic and Bird appeared, and boom.
So, Pat McAfee. Tom, did you see what Pat McAfee
No, but what did he say, the idiot?
So,
he cussed a little bit.
Yeah. So, Pat McAfee is walking back what he said. And McAfee has apologized for his reference to Caitlin Clark as a white biatch.
Oh, man. Come on. What he said.
That's what he said. Yeah. McAfee.
She ain't coming on his show.
Well, and he's white. That's the funny part.
Yeah, he's white. But, I mean, there are a lot of Caitlin Clark haters out there. And, you know, true story is Caitlin Clark would probably walk away from the sport, and the WNBA would miss her.
Well, Whoopi Goldberg is obviously one of those Caitlin Clark haters.
Oh, and there are a certain amount of people
because she
that
is white.
Don't hate Caitlin Clark for any other reason
than a racist reason.
That she's white.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's the reason why they don't like her. And isn't that racism?
Yes.
Well,
yes, 100%.
And she's talented, B. Come on now.
Talented doesn't have anything to do with racism.
Oh. I mean, hating somebody because of the color of their skin is racism. Look, I do not like LeBron James because he is a big crybaby.
He is a crybaby.
I don't care about the color of his skin.
Nope.
I don't like LeBron James because he gave millions to the Biden campaign. I don't care what color he is. I don't like his politics, and I don't like his whining. But that's just me. Blue City leader, stop sharing crime alerts with constituents. She does not want the news to get out because she said it creates a bad perception. I mean, if you don't put out the info, nobody is putting out bad information. Chicago aldermen will no longer post crime alerts on social media or send out alerts to her constituents because she said it puts forth a bad perception. So bury your head in the sand. Yeah, next time there's like a mass murder, I mean, I don't want anybody to know about that. It puts forth a bad perception that our city is crime-ridden.
Yep.
Alderman Lenny Hoppenworth. She said when it comes to robberies and sex crimes, we can't put that information out. It's a bad perception. So if there's like a serial rapist out there, we can't put that information out.
We can't let people know to be careful.
No. Why the hell would we do something like that? Crazy. 8:13, we are B and the Breakfast Club. Boob of the day coming up in just a second. A drunken traveler gets 6 months in prison after attacking a flight attendant. And you know why she cut off his? He got in a fight with her. Cut off his booze. 44-year-old Scholar Bives was flying from Tel Aviv to JFK when they cut his booze off. He was also fined $9,500.
Whoa! No booze for you.
No. Dude was so drunk and combative that everybody thought it was Spirit Airlines, but it wasn't. He got angry over the vodka. Tom, where the hell is Tel Aviv anyway?
It's over in the Middle East. Israel.
Oh,
yeah,
right there.
You got it on the second
All
try.
right, what do you guys think about having a heterosexual awareness month?
I don't think there should be any sexual awareness month.
Well, me either. But an Idaho bar came out with a special celebration that coincides with Pride Month. The Old State Saloon announced Heterosexual Awareness Month. So they are doing things that, by the way, it's near Boise, Idaho. They are doing Heterosexual Monday, Male Monday, Hetero Male Monday. And anybody dressed as a heterosexual male gets a draft beer on the house.
What is?
Then on Wednesday, they do a straight couple discount, 15% discount on everything in the bar.
So date night.
Yes. Oh. And, they're doing bang up business. There is also a day for Saturday called Breeders Day.
You got to be breeding in the restaurant? I mean, what?
No, you breed after you go home. But, yeah.
I want to know more about this dress like a straight male thing.
Well, I mean, that's what it said. I mean, I'm sure.
What does that mean?
I have no idea, but lumberjack shirt.
That's I question a lot of those guys. Those very manicured beards, lumberjack shirt stuff, and man bun. I question that.
Alamogordo police investigating a fatal stabbing of an elderly man. So Alamogordo police is investigating the death of a 65-year-old man who was stabbed to death. They responded to his home Saturday about 4:30 a.m. on a welfare check and found the man dead at the scene. That's pretty much all they know. It is a developing case at this point. Obesity is blamed for a disturbing rise in cancer cases, especially with young folks. So, do you think there's a link between obesity and cancer?
I do.
I have never heard that.
I think there's a link between obesity and a lot of things because what it does to your bodies. I mean, there's a link between that and inflammation, and there's a link between inflammation and cancer. And those things. So, yes, it's all related.
Tom, your thoughts on that?
I just think if you're going to get sick, you're going to get sick.
That explains a lot.
Don't prevent anything. Prevention medicine is, okay. I got you.
Well, you can't do nothing about cancer. It's going to hit you if it's going to hit you.
No, you can do a lot of things. They've done all kinds of studies on how you can basically
you
turn
don't
it on
eat
and off.
right. Don't eat right because, I mean, there's no reason to prevent something. You're going to get it eventually.
Where do you think cancer came from?
Where do you think it came from?
Right.
Well, there are many causes. But if you're talking about dietary stuff, there was a doctor named Campbell who did a study from Cornell, and he figured out that if you have a diet that consists of more than 20% of processed foods and meats, that it basically turns on your body's ability to proliferate cancer. And if you have less than 5, it shuts that off. So the optimal measure is somewhere in between.
Yeah, but when we started detonating atomic bombs and stuff, I mean, that got
if you live there, yes.
I mean, that got
if you're a downwinder, yes.
Processed food. Tom, what is processed food?
Food that shouldn't be eaten.
Well, maybe.
The majority of Tom's diet.
Did you guys know that Joe Scarborough from MSNBC?
What about him?
Did you know he was a senator?
You know,
he was.
Really?
I mean, 6 months after he was reelected to Congress, he resigned.
Yeah.
After allegations that he was having an affair with a young intern.
Because he was.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. By the way,
that was a while back.
Dead body of the intern was found in his office.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Joe Scarborough.
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't. For whatever reason, I don't. By the way, Boob of the Day coming up in just a second. Tom, congratulations. Dr. Pepper is sending you an award.
Are they?
Thank you.
For what?
Dr. Pepper is now the number 2 beverage in the country. Pepsi has always been number 2. They actually tied with Pepsi.
Wow.
This is a 3-horse race now.
It's been for a while. I mean, Dr. Pepper is the national drink of Texas, right?
And I got to say this much. I can't stand Dr. Pepper.
Really?
Dr. Pepper, to me, tastes like bug spray.
Yeah. So I have like 1 soda a year, right? Maybe 2. And I had to try, Dr. Pepper had a new flavor out that was the almonds, or the coconut.
Okay.
And they did it with the 0 sugar. And so I had to get it because a friend of mine posted that it tastes just like drinking a Mounds bar.
Huh.
Wow.
And
now that sounds appealing.
And so I said, okay, I'm going to get one. I'm going to try it. So we bought a 6-pack. And, the first taste of it, didn't quite taste it. You could taste the coconut, but after the second one, I understood exactly what he was saying. Yeah. And so I normally drink about 2 a year, like I said, and I've already drank 2 out of this 6-pack in the last couple weeks. So, yeah.
Well, I have no sweet tea here, so I am drinking cold. So it is what it is. All right, 820. I changed shirts, too, because I was soaking wet.
Yeah, the camera fell back a little bit again. So.
Oh, my Lord.
Well, it's, when you're on the fly, you do what you can.
And we're definitely on the fly. All right, boob of the day this morning being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. Medical professionals on staff, they're ready to help you. Not feeling good, living in pain. Living in pain is not good. They have solutions. Stem cell therapy. Maybe the doctors have said that you need surgery. Look into stem cell therapy. Stem cell therapy, instead of them cutting on you, stem cell therapy injected into the area that is completely ravaged, and it rebuilds. No, I know it sounds science fiction, but it does. They are using stem cell therapy now to treat all kind of things. Cholesterol, high blood pressure, all kind of things. But it does rejuvenate the cartilage and all the stuff that is completely destroyed. They also have ozone therapy, which I get. And they have the cryotherapy in the back. So go talk to them about that. Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics, they believe in treating the root cause of the problem, not numbing it. Root cause of the problem. If you're having hormonal problems, they have hormonal optimization. Have the deep dive into your blood work to find out what is going on. And guys, if you're living with low testosterone, from time to time I get messages from guys. My testosterone is low. Tell me about testosterone. It is a game changer. It is a life changer. It gives you your body from 30 years ago back. It does. I wish I would have started 10 years ago. Find out more information. 3900 North Lovington Highway and Hobbs Desert Functional Medicine Aesthetics, proud sponsor of the Boob of the Day.
All right, so most criminals don't bother to think. This guy may have actually overthought his situation. 39-year-old man in Indiana named Bo Burchell was sitting in his car last Thursday when he saw a delivery truck full of beer and a liquor pull up outside an establishment called Cheers Bar. So he thought to himself something along the lines of, hey, if I stole that truck, I could open my own liquor store and sell all of that booze to pay off my drug debts. So he did it. He successfully stole the truck along with a skid steer that was attached to the back and spent hours dismantling the security systems and GPS devices on both of them. Unfortunately, you also actually have to hide the vehicles from being spotted, and he didn't do that. So police found a delivery truck in a field behind a club, and Bo was found hiding in a nearby bush. Now the stolen, I know, right? The stolen skid steer has a value of around $60,000, and the box truck is estimated to be worth $50,000, and the alcohol in it about $12,000. So he was booked on several preliminary felony theft charges. And for trying to steal the booze truck and sell it as your own, you are the boob of the day.
Boob of the day being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. Check them out today as I'm dropping papers. All right, some of the stories we're going to talk about up next. A man, a bracelet, could have saved his life. We'll talk about that. Retired 4-star admiral, arrested, bribery scheme. Woman believed to be dead. Well, actually, she was not dead. She was at the funeral home, though. We'll talk about that. And taking a baby aspirin could combat this. We'll talk about that. And a male birth control pill could be on the way. Could actually happen. We'll get to that and the good news of the day. Tom on the text.
All right, B, is that a picture of Tom on your back? Ask the text. You got a picture
of Tom on
You
my
can,
back.
whatever your tattoo sticking up out of the top of the shirt is.
I got a tiger on the
tiger.
back. That is a cover-up from a woman's name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Drunken Night in Tijuana. Don't ask.
And this Dr. Pepper coconut dang near made me think I relapsed. Tasted just like Parrot Bay mixed drink.
See, I told you it was good.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Says the texter. And, you know, that reminds me, Tom, back in January, I started taking Monjaro and Jardians. My A1C went from 8.4 to 6.4, and I lost 22 pounds. My fatty liver problems are no longer, and I feel great. You may want to check into these two drugs, says the texter.
There's all kind of peptides also. If you don't want to get on those drugs, there's all kind of peptides. If you want to lose weight, there are ways to lose weight. I got a guy that listens to us from Roswell. He has lost over 75 pounds.
Congratulations.
He's at the gym. He's working out. He's lost over 75 pounds. His goal is to get back to his Army days.
Wow.
Which 225. He was over 300 pounds. Wow. And he's very close, Tom. He's about 20-something pounds away.
Is he? Well, good for him. I lost 12 pounds.
Good for him. Yes, good for him.
And, you know, I've never watched a women's college basketball game or a WNBA game until this year. And that was because of Caitlin Clark and them using the word B-I-T-C-H to describe a woman nowadays is like a badge of honor. It isn't like it was way back in the day, says the texter. They're just jealous of her. And, guys, what happened to Will? I haven't heard him in a while. Ask the texter.
Will goes to dialysis, so it's hard for him to take part in the show.
Okay.
So
there you go.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Come on. You're going to read. You're going to skip Buddies.
Oh, Buddy. Okay. And Tom has a tramp stamp of Russ Black. Okay. What does that mean?
That's a tattoo. You have a tramp stamp of Russ Black.
Oh, no, I don't. But yeah.
I didn't see that in the video.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And there you go.
All right, let's get updated with news being brought to you by State Representative Randall Pettigrew, District 61, reminding you, get out and vote today. Today is Election Day. If you haven't voted yet, get out and vote.
Till 7 p.m.
You're in District 61. You are so lucky. I mean, this is Randy Pettigrew's third term in office, and he lives by probably the same values that you live by. Very conservative values. That's why CPAC gives him the A+ rating. He is a battler. He continues to fight this governor. And the special session is coming up. And by the way, even Democrats are fighting with this governor now. So that makes Randy Pettigrew's job so much easier. Fighting for our Second Amendment rights, fighting for our kids, fighting for the oil and gas industry. Find out more information about Randall Pettigrew at randallpettigrew.com. Message paid for by Randy Pettigrew. Let's check in with news. We're coming back. B and the Breakfast Club on W105. Good news of the day on the way. Yvette Harrell will be with us during the 9 o'clock hour. It's already 8:28. B and the Breakfast Club.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
Ben's Country Market in Artesia presents the Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Opening arguments in Hunter Biden's federal gun trial in the Biden's hometown of Wilmington, Delaware. More than half the jury has family experience with drug or alcohol problems, with the special counsel looking to prove that Hunter Biden lied on a federal gun form about not being a drug user to buy a firearm. His father, the president, reported ready to sign an executive order to cut migrants crossing the border to shut down asylum requests between ports of entry when migrant numbers hit 2,500 in a day, twice as restrictive as the bipartisan border bill. Texas GOP Senator John Cornyn tells Fox.
This is all an election year deathbed conversion by Joe Biden.
Riverside, California, Sheriff Chad Bianco says he's tired of arresting criminals and seeing them let out of jail, posting, "It's time we put a felon in the White House," endorsing Donald Trump for president. America is listening to Fox News.
back! Get back! I have a gun! I will fucking shoot you!
This is Anissa Tinnen. That's the 911 tape where you hear me shoot a 5-time repeat felon that broke into my home here in New Mexico and threatened me and my granddaughter. I was terrified, but what's also terrifying is that Governor Lujan Grisham is attacking our Second Amendment rights. The same Governor Lujan Grisham who handpicked Steve McCutcheon to fill a vacant state Senate seat. Later, McCutcheon told the Roswell newspaper on September 23rd that he was undecided on supporting a special session to impeach Grisham for signing away the gun rights of law-abiding citizens. McCutcheon relented only after all other Republicans had already agreed. That's why I support Larry Scott for state Senate. Larry has a career-long A rating from the NRA after hundreds of pro-Second Amendment votes over 10 years. Send the governor a message that you're not undecided about gun rights. Vote Larry Scott for state Senate because the next victim could be you.
Paid for by Our Values PAC.
Get ready for a night of Nuevo Flamenco music as we welcome Otmar Liebert and his band Luna Negra to the Spencer Theater in Alto, New Mexico on Saturday, June 8th. Described as Spanish gypsy with contemporary grooves, this concert is perfect for a summer's night. For tickets, call the box office at 575-336-4800 or online at spencertheater.com.
In the race for state Senate, after all the political noise, there is one issue that matters most to voters. Every job in our area depends on the survival of the oil and gas industry. Which candidate will best protect our oil and gas jobs? That's easy. It's Larry Scott. He's been in the oil and gas business for over 40 years. He fought for our industry, for our jobs, and for us in Santa Fe. He stands up to progressives who hate oil and gas and who want to kill our vital industry. Make no mistake, progressives have vowed to outlaw oil and gas. That's why we must vote for Larry Scott for state Senate. Ask anyone who knows this business and they will tell you they're supporting Larry Scott. His opponent, Steve McCutcheon, lacks the ability and knowledge to defend this important industry. Southeast New Mexico loses if Steve McCutcheon represents us in the Senate. That's why we need Larry Scott. Vote for oil and gas. Vote for our jobs. Vote for Larry Scott.
This ad paid for by the committee to elect Larry R. Scott, New Mexico State Senate District 42.
Drilling Brake Auto Repair LLC is a professional auto repair shop offering high-quality automotive maintenance and repairs in Carlsbad. They specialize in diesel and gas mechanical services, auto and AC repair, tune-ups, brake replacement, diagnostics, and more. They have many years of experience in this industry, and they have a team of highly skilled mechanics that can get the job done right the first time. Give them a call at 575-725-8882 or find them on the web at carlsbadautomechanic.com for Drilling Brake Auto Repair.
Most people gamble. They visit a casino, buy a lottery ticket, play an online game. But for a few, gambling becomes more than fun. It becomes a problem, an addiction, just like a drug or alcohol addiction. Free and confidential help and treatment is available, funded by Responsible Gaming Association of New Mexico. A toll-free hotline, 888-696-2440, is available 24 hours a day. Find help at rganm.org.
Vote EJ Forat for Chaves County Commission District 3. As a former state police officer and Chaves County magistrate judge, EJ Forat recognizes many of the issues faced and pledges to work with residents to resolve them. EJ Forat's work as a criminal investigations sergeant and other public safety work has given him firsthand experience and knowledge on the detriments of drugs and crime to Chaves County. A conservative Republican strongly supporting your 2A rights, please cast your primary vote for EJ Forat. Ad paid for by Forat for Chaves County.
Big summertime values this week at Bob's Ridgeway. Get sirloin cut pork chops $1.49 a pound. Choice boneless beef chuck steak $4.99 a pound. Get the Chef's Net raw shrimp big 3140s just $4.99 a pound. In produce seedless grapes $1.99 a pound, and the juicy cantaloupe it's just $1.99 each. And it's pizza night done right with Owen Sausages, Food Club cheese, your Glasgow pizza sauce, Shawnee pizza meal, pizza crust, even the armored pepperoni packs. They're all on special this week, along with 150 big summertime values, where your grocery dollar always goes farther and the service still matters. They still even carry your groceries out at Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Be in the Breakfast Club, harassing the world courtesy of a bad childhood.
Take the children and get them out of here.
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to Be in the Breakfast Club.
What I say is what I say.
Good news of the day coming up in just a second. Got a lot of things still to talk about. Yvette Herrell will be on. Biden caves to political pressure. Today is the day. Yeah, we're how many months away from the election, Blake? Count them down.
Well, let's see. 5? Is that right? 4? 5? 5. November.
5 months.
5, yeah.
Less than 6 months. Biden caves to political pressure with spawning the executive order on the southern border ahead of the election. Don't buy into it. It's not like he did it to save America. He did it to save himself.
Well, and is that possible to save himself at this point, or is it too far gone?
I think it's too far gone. I think American people are smarter than that. Look, I'm counting on you guys. I'm saying that you're smarter. I'm just saying. I'm hoping you are smarter than that.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out where the noise was coming from. I was reading stories. So he is going to tackle immigration the first time he's worried about it in 3.5 years, signing an executive order that would shut the border down after 5,000 people a day. Now, up until 5,000, it's wide open.
Yeah, 1.8 million.
5,000 people a day is 1.8 million people annually.
Yeah. So he's okay with that many. And that does not include gotaways.
We're getting like close to 200,000 people per month.
Right.
Minimum. That doesn't even count those gotaways. People that we don't even know about. That's only people that we know about.
Right.
So is this going to work? Are Americans going to be fooled thinking Joe Biden's finally doing something about the border? Or are you going to buy into this as just a bunch of BS?
I really hope they don't.
I would think that Americans are smart.
Well, you would think that. You would think that.
You think Americans are smart, Blake? You think they're going to
collectively
figure this out?
No.
Collectively,
no.
I do. Me personally.
I think.
All right,
individuals.
877-396-W105. Another day in paradise. Wait a second. All right, Blake, you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
I figured out what I did. When I turned Fox News down, I turned you down at the same time. I couldn't hear you. Yeah, that could be a problem.
No, I was saying that I think that the American people as a whole act like a herd and are not smart. And individually, I think we are. I think that collectively, we have a tendency to forget things. That's why politicians always try to have an October surprise to overshadow some things.
Well, I'm retired now.
Well, there you go. There's my example. Yeah. If we were smart, New Mexico would not be solidly blue.
Yeah, I agree. But see, people buy into the BS. See, I go on social media and listen to some of the stuff that people say about Trump, and at the same time what people say about the Democratic Party.
Right.
Look, the guy that beat Dustin Poirier over the weekend is a Muslim. He was kneeling to Mecca on the Hamas flag. And I just asked a question. Do you think he loves America?
No.
No. He doesn't love America.
Well, here's the thing is I know a lot of Muslims, but their religion comes before everything.
It does.
So, yes, they may be proud of being American, but their religion comes first. And if their imam says, we must do this, that's what they do.
Yeah. Tom, were you a Lenny Kravitz fan back in the day?
I don't even know who that guy is.
Are you going to go my way?
You don't know who Lenny Kravitz is?
Really? You don't know?
Oh, he married, what's her name? Bonet, didn't he? Didn't she?
I mean, he was a much bigger star than Lisa Bonet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's a rapper.
Anyway,
no.
he's been no, not a rapper.
He's a rocker. Oh, and what has been?
Anyway, he's been celibate for 9 years. Has not been in a relationship and has not had any type of relationships in 9 years.
I can't say that surprises me, knowing how, because he's pretty famous for whenever he has a personal conviction, he really sticks to it.
Yeah. Remember when he stopped taking a bath?
Yes, and everybody agreed he had stopped.
Stayed away from that dude.
But nine, and he said life is so much easier without sex.
I can't say I agree with him. I would disagree with him, but, you know, if
yeah,
that's his
I would disagree with him. And please, I hope my wife doesn't hear about life is easier. Looks like 41 years and over 4,000 episodes. Pat Sajak's final episode of Wheel of Fortune is coming up this Friday. Set to DVR. Final one is this Friday. And a gold bracelet saves a man's life.
It was a silver.
Was it silver? Is that your boob?
No, I did the other boob. No, I just read the story earlier because it intrigued me. Silver.
So it wasn't a bracelet. It was a necklace.
Yes.
That was around his neck, and the bullet hit the necklace. You could see where it hit the necklace.
Oh my!
Right.
And it deflected the bullet. It was like a braided necklace, kind of like the one I have on.
Right.
And
similar.
because of that, it was only at 22, so it could have saved his life.
Yeah. I mean, it still penetrated a little bit.
Yes.
You know?
But they believe the necklace saved his life. And a 4-star admiral arrested and charged with bribery. What should we do with this guy?
Well, if he's arrested and charged with bribery and found guilty, then he needs to go to jail.
So the Department of Justice charged a retired 4-star U.S. Navy admiral with agreeing to help steer military contracts to a private firm in exchange for $500,000 a year for a job outside the Navy. Yeah. DOJ arrested Admiral Robert Burke, 62 years old, of Florida, living in Coconut Creek, and, making side deals.
Man.
He's been charged with bribery and other charges.
Wow.
Did you guys see that Bob Menendez, the disgraced Democrat that accepted all kind of gold and stuff, he's running as an independent? How the hell is that going to work?
I don't know.
No, I mean, serious, how will that work? Because you are guilty of taking all kind of bribes.
Like real felonies.
Yes, like gold bars and stuff. And you're going to run as independent?
Well, not convicted.
And I'm just wondering if the people in New Jersey is going to reelect him.
It is Jersey. I mean,
it is Jersey.
Organized
You're right about
crime,
that.
you know.
That's crazy. All right, we're going to talk about a woman believed to be dead was actually alive. She woke up at the funeral home. I'll get to that story coming up in a second. Tom on the text, 877-396-W105.
Hey, Randy Pettigrew, our state representative, is chiming in. He said, I'll be sending out a poll next week requesting constitutional thoughts on crime and
constituent
constituent thoughts on crime and public safety legislation, he says this morning. And no, your religion and God should become before anything, says this one texter. Okay. And if Biden shut down the border, does that mean he's a racist, or is that the mainstream media going to embrace that? As the texter.
Well, look, nobody's a racist because they shut down the border.
No.
I mean, we need to take care of American citizens.
Yes.
We need to take care of America. And I'll just say this much, the hell with everybody else.
Well, and it's not about race.
No.
There are
and people,
dozens of races coming across the border.
Yes. People have called me a racist because I want to protect our border. That doesn't mean, look, I don't want to pay for foreigners. That doesn't make me a racist. That makes me a separatist. Correct. I think that American citizens should be treated better than foreigners.
Yeah.
Every day.
Go ahead, Tom.
All right, so we got a text here. It says, Andrea Groff is texting me, says, 144 people in the first hour this morning of Lee County voting. So get out and vote.
Today is the day. So get out there and vote.
Polls are open 7 to 7. If you're in New Mexico and you hear our voice right now, polls are open 7 to 7. Go vote.
And this texter says, hey, guess what? I just voted Trump, says the texter. So there you go. We got to get out. Let's do it. And Lenny Kravitz,
I voted for a felon, and I'm damn proud of it.
Right. And Lenny Kravitz's mother is the lady that played the white guy's wife on The Jeffersons.
Yes.
Says the texter. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I know.
Said the texter.
Yep.
Says the texter.
Yep.
So wait, we're reading text.
Even though it has a name on it.
From the text line, but it's from the texter.
From the texter.
And it actually has a name on it. It was Nick from the Patch.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Thank you, Nick.
And Martin from the Patch, he said, yeah, I remember Tom was over 400 pounds, and he lost about 200 pounds. That's in my Roswell days.
That was in the divorce, right?
Never happened.
403 when I went to Roswell.
What? It never happened. Never happened.
Well, he says it did.
Quit living in the past.
Let's get to this quick
That's
break.
problem number one. Quit living in the past. Fix things today.
272 today. Bro.
Hey, let's
things
get to this break.
Today. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. Good news of the day on the way. We'll talk about the woman that woke up at the funeral home. Already 8:47. Yvette Harrell will be with us shortly. News this morning being brought to you by Janco Janitorial, 324 West Main in Artesia. Check them out today. Full-service janitorial company. They have all the cleaning supplies that you're looking for, and they can get out there and do all the cleaning for you. Specialize in commercial, industrial, and oil-field cleaning. They can clean windows. They can clean office buildings. They can strip and wax your floor and more. They are certified and well-trained. Certified, pathogen certified, hazmat certified, and PPE certified. Call Amber this morning, 575-703-1869, or go to the website, jancojanitorial.com. We're coming back. Let's qualify you for the cash, 847 W105.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
Ben's Country Market in Artesia presents the Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Getting the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Joe Miller. The Indios fire update, increasing winds, dry air causing that fire to spread through interior unburned pockets within the northern and southern areas of the fire perimeter. Despite those conditions, the overall accurate mapping of the incident. Firefighters increasing completion of operational objectives to nearly 60%. Crews continued to strengthen fire lines by masticating and chipping vegetation along the northwest and western perimeters of the fire area. Masticating vegetation is a forest management tool that involves reducing the size of forest vegetation and down material by grinding, shredding, and chunking or chopping it. Hobbs Board of Education last week unanimously approved a more than $218 million budget to keep the doors open and lights on and more during the new school year. Terry Gray, Director of Finance for Hobbs Municipal Schools, told the board the largest outlay, more than $127 million, goes directly to supporting staff and students. Of that, more than $84 million paid out to cover staff salaries and benefits. Both salaries and insurance costs will increase next year after legislators mandated a minimum 3% across the board raise for school employees. Republicans outpaced Democrats in early and absentee voting in Eddy, Lincoln, and Otero counties. That according to data from the New Mexico Secretary of State. Early voting for the June 4 primary ended Saturday, with Democrats voting in larger numbers than Republicans across most of New Mexico. Democrats led Republicans across New Mexico, 327 Libertarians voting early or absentee. However, in Eddy County, 2,669 Republicans voted early or absentee during the early voting period, compared to 625 Eddy County Democrats and 12 Libertarians. That's what's happening. I'm Joe Miller, MTD Radio News.
You're back! You're back! I have a gun! I will fucking shoot you!
This is Anissa Tinnen. That's the 911 tape where you hear me shoot a 5-time repeat felon that broke into my home here in New Mexico and threatened me and my granddaughter. I was terrified, but what's also terrifying is that Governor Lujan Grisham is attacking our Second Amendment rights. The same Governor Lujan Grisham who handpicked Steve McCutcheon to fill a vacant state Senate seat. Later, McCutcheon told the Roswell newspaper on September 23rd that he was undecided on supporting a special session to impeach Grisham for signing away the gun rights of law-abiding citizens. McCutcheon relented only after all other Republicans had already agreed. That's why I support Larry Scott for state Senate. Larry has a career-long A rating from the NRA after hundreds of pro-Second Amendment votes over 10 years. Send the governor a message that you're not undecided about gun rights. Vote Larry Scott for state Senate, because the next victim could be you.
Paid for by Our Values PAC.
Honey, what are you doing? It's 4 a.m.
Well, I'm making a big breakfast for you and the kids. We gotta get going this morning. It's a long drive to Midland Airport.
I booked our flights out of our airport here in Hobbs. It's in town, not in Texas.
Well, you want some toast?
Is that strawberry?
Organic boysenberry.
I'm going back to bed.
Love you.
Flying in and out of Hobbs gives you more time and less stress. So when it's time to fly, you gotta fly Hobbs.
Lee County is full of people who love to be here. Full of people who care about Lee County roads, Lee County schools, Lee County police and fire. And most of all, full of people who care about the future of Lee County and Lee County children. Re-elect Pat Sims for Lee County Commissioner District 5. Pat has proven he will work hard for the people in Lee County. Re-elect Pat Sims for another 4 years.
Hi, I'm Pat Sims. I love Lee County, and I know you do too. I'm asking for your vote to re-elect me as your District 5 Lee County Commissioner. Thank you.
Paid for by Pat Sims.
Hello, everyone. I'm State Representative Catherine Brown. I serve Carlsbad, Otis, Loving, Malagajal, and Eunice in the State House of Representatives. I'm running for re-election, and I'm asking for your support once again. I'm on the front lines in Santa Fe fighting hard for families, schools, and businesses. I vigorously defend constitutional rights, including the right to keep and bear arms. I strongly support local industries such as oil and gas, potash, nuclear, ranching, and agriculture. Please vote for me, Catherine Brown, on June 4th.
Paid for by Committee to re-elect Catherine Brown. David Fritchie, Treasurer.
Attention all football enthusiasts. Turfs by United Way is excited to announce their 3rd annual flag football tournament happening on Saturday, June 8th at Watson Stadium. Gates open at 8 a.m. sharp, so don't be late. All teams must be registered and paid by May 20th to secure their spot in this exciting tournament. And the best part, all proceeds raised will go back to the Hobbs Schools Crisis Funds, supporting a great cause in our community. But that's not all. They'll have food and product vendors on site so you can enjoy some delicious bites and shop while watching the games. It's going to be a day filled with football, fun, and sun. So make sure to mark your calendars and join them for a fantastic event. For more information and to register your team, call Brittany at United Way of Lee County at 575-740-8375 or stop by United Way and sign up in person, 320 North Ship in Hobbs.
Call now or text 877-396-W105 to talk to B in the Breakfast Club.
Call me Elf one more time.
If you're in a car with a liberal who doesn't want to listen to B in the Breakfast Club, make him get out and walk. Anyway, they're helping to save the environment.
And it's good exercise for him. It really is.
Right.
8:54. We are B on the Breakfast Club. Read the text, Blake, while I turned off the air conditioner. I was feeling so good, I forgot to turn the darn thing off. By the way, there's a room on the other side of this condo.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch rooms because tomorrow the air conditioning's on the other side of the desk.
Oh, that works.
I can have air condition and work. Imagine that.
I'm worried sick to think my future depends on if everybody else goes and votes or not. A few people don't wake up now. You're never going to wake up. We have to stop this madness. And John in Carlsbad is saying, are independents able to vote in New Mexico? And the answer to that is actually yes, because you can go to the poll today and you can switch parties. Like you could go and say, I want to be a Republican. They will register you as Republican right then, and you are able to vote. So.
And then after the election, you can switch
change
back.
If you can change back. But it's got to be, it's the Monday after the election. So it's not like you could do it this week. You have to wait till Monday next week to switch back.
Sure.
So there you go.
Yeah. All right, check out the weather being brought to you by Butcher Block Meat Market and Grill in Lovington. Family owned and operated, great place to enjoy breakfast. Awesome place to enjoy lunch also. And if you're looking for custom cut meats, they can do that for you. They have a full service meat market, and they've got about 30 years experience in the meat market business. So they know what they're doing. Want custom cut steaks or pork chops? Maybe you want the patties, hamburger patties. They have different varieties. They're frozen, so you take them out as you need them.
Yep.
They have delicious jerky and smoked meat daily. Thinking about getting in there and getting some of that smoked meat and some jerky, and maybe you're doing the keto diet. This would be perfect for you. Now, if you're not doing the keto diet this morning, get yourself a big burrito or a breakfast platter. And don't forget lunch. They do daily lunch specials. Find out more information, like them on Facebook. Call them 575-739-7778 or stop in 1422 South Main and Lovington. Tom on the text, quickly.
All right, vote Democratic, says this one texter. And another one says, is everyone able to vote, or is it just Republicans and Democrats?
I answered that one.
Oh, you already read that one? Okay, so I was coming back in.
And, I've read all those that are going right now. We don't have any new ones coming in.
But keep voting Democrat. I mean,
but I wanted to comment about the Butcher Block, since we just did that one. We got one of those packs of the hamburger patties.
Yes.
And they're really good size. I bought them because the grandkids are here, and they're really good. Like you definitely want to try those out. And then they have them with green chili as well.
Yes.
And those are awesome.
Go see Barry and the gang over there.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. They were really good.
Yeah, no problem.
And this text says, we can take care of immigrants, but we can't take care of our veterans, says this one text.
No, because, look, it comes down to taking care of foreigners from another country or taking care of our own that has shed blood for this country. And the Democratic Party, somebody just said keep voting Democratic. The Democratic Party, they chose foreigners. You are just a means to the way.
Yep.
You are a taxpayer that they will continue to suck you dry until you have no more blood.
And then they will kick you to the curb.
Right.
Then they will take the marrow out of your bones. I mean, these people are ruthless. They are planning to go up on taxes.
Yep.
Joe Biden's already said it. The Trump era tax cuts go away, and he said he will never put those in, and he said he will raise your taxes more than that.
Yes.
If you enjoy paying taxes to help foreigners from other countries, vote Democrat. By God, vote Democrat.
And if you really enjoy doing that, why don't you just give away all your money? Like every time you get a paycheck, just give it away.
Just move in. I mean, why have hotel rooms, Blake?
Right.
Just let them stay at your house.
Yeah. Hey guys, Dwayne Pennick sends us a message. He says, "Good morning, gentlemen. Me and Joanne, his wife, was just talking, and we both want to tell you guys how much we appreciate what you guys do. You always stand strong in what you believe. I wish more people had that courage today in today's world. True Americans, you guys. Many thanks. Thank you all there at MPD.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, buddy.
So this woman they believe was dead was at a funeral home in Nebraska. They had brought her in. She had been deemed that she was not with us anymore. She's 74 years old.
Okay.
And they believed that she was dead. She was discovered alive at the funeral home, showing signs of life. This happened yesterday. Emergency crews called to the Mason and Love Funeral Home in Lincoln, Nebraska, about 11:45 after people began performing CPR on the woman. Very, very unusual.
Yeah.
Lancaster police, the Lancaster sheriff's deputy said he's been around for 31 years and he's never seen something like this. Woman originally was at the nursing home and was pronounced dead, then transported to the funeral home. She was in hospice care at the funeral home.
Oh, for real? Hospice care at the funeral home?
Well, no, Tom. She was at hospice care and then taken to the funeral home. Hospice care meaning that
end of life.
End of life.
Yeah, end of life. Thank you, Blake.
So they didn't put embalming fluid in her?
No, she would not be alive if they had embalmed her. No.
So they hadn't gotten to that point yet?
Correct.
Okay. No, she was on the table, and they realized she was still breathing.
Uh-oh.
So the employee called 911 and the police and the fire and medical personnel and everybody else.
There, right?
Yeah.
She was then taken to the hospital, and she is still alive this morning. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Miracle, man. Wasn't ready for it.
I guess it just wasn't her time.
Nope.
I guess. So you know the benefits of taking a baby aspirin, right, Tom?
Yeah, I take one every day. Sure do.
What's the benefit?
Heart rate? I mean, and blood pressure? That's why I take it.
No. No. That's not why you take it.
Why?
Try again. Go ahead. Try again.
Your mind?
Blake, why is he taking a baby aspirin?
I don't know why Tom's taking it.
Could it be that the baby aspirin is given to you to prevent strokes? Because it's a blood.
Not for Tom. No, that would not be a reason Tom would take it.
No, it's working. Yes, it's working.
I'm almost.
It also says that it combats the hidden dangers of poor sleep, which tells me you are not taking your baby aspirin.
I sleep good.
So new reports coming out, taking a baby aspirin today combats the hidden dangers of poor sleep.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Something tells me you're not taking it. Male birth control could be a thing that is coming. Tom, do you think I'll need some male birth control pills?
Tom doesn't need them, so he has a confused look on his face.
So they're
I think
coming
it's a good
out
idea.
that
Why not? Why not?
Male birth control that it's not actually a pill; it's a gel that you rub on the shoulder, on your shoulder blade.
Oh, that's right.
And it's showing promise that it's actually going to work, that it works.
Well, it's kind of a hormone blocker kind of a thing, I bet.
Right.
I would bet that it acts very similar.
Huh.
Wow. We've been asking this for years. Finally, it's come true. All right, we got the good news of the day coming up. Yvette Harrell, we're going to get her on the phone
here in
just a second. Keep you updated with everything going on this morning. Mm-hmm. Good news coming up next, Tom. We still got a lot of things to talk about. 9:04. We'll get Yvette Harrell on the phone. We'll talk to her coming up next. Be in the Breakfast Club, W105 KWMW, Malchmore 105.1 FM. Let's qualify you for some cash, and then Yvette Harrell will be on with us on W105.
Fox News. I'm Therese Crowley. Opening arguments in Hunter Biden's federal gun trial in the Biden's hometown of Wilmington, Delaware. More than half the jury has family experience with drug or alcohol problems, with the special counsel looking to prove that Hunter Biden lied on a federal gun form about not being a drug user to buy a firearm. His father, the president, reported ready to sign an executive order to cut migrants crossing the border, to shut down asylum requests between ports of entry when migrant numbers hit 2,500 in a day, twice as restrictive as the bipartisan border bill. Texas GOP Senator John Cornyn tells Fox.
This is all an election year deathbed conversion by Joe Biden.
Riverside, California, Sheriff Chad Bianco says he's tired of arresting criminals and seeing them let out of jail, posting, "It's time we put a felon in the White House," endorsing Donald Trump for president. America is listening to Fox News.
This is Chad Hamill, and I'm running to be your next senator for District 32. My opponent, Candy Azell, can't defend her 20-year record in the Santa Fe swamp, so she's attacking other people's families and kids on the radio. That's the difference in this race. Candy attacks other people's kids while I'm running to protect yours. And on my record, as a fire chief, I have seen the devastation of open borders. Fentanyl overdoses are out of control. As a small business owner here in the community, I know firsthand how politicians in Santa Fe have destroyed small businesses for our communities. As a previous school board member, I know local control has been ripped away from our schools. It is time for a change. The same old just isn't working. I will be your conservative voice in Santa Fe. Career politicians have gotten New Mexico into this mess, but as a firefighter, I've made my living running towards problems, and I'm ready to fix the problems. I humbly ask for your vote on June the 4th so we can put the fire out in Santa Fe. Paid for by friends of Chad Hamill.
Hungry Horse Environmental Services in Lovington is looking to hire operators, environmental technicians, and labor hands. Pay will be based upon experience. Stop by 4024 Plains Highway in Lovington to fill out an application today. Hungry Horse Environmental Services of Lovington is an equal opportunity.
Gay Kernan. In the race for state senate, I'm endorsing Representative Larry Scott and hope you'll support him too. I've been very disappointed by the negative and untruthful campaign run by Larry's opponent, Steve McCutcheon, as his campaign so far has not been based upon the facts. The truth is, Larry Scott is one of the most reliable, conservative votes in Santa Fe and is the single strongest voice for oil and gas in the entire New Mexico legislature. I'm also disappointed that our governor appointed McCutcheon to the Senate and in doing so has divided our southeast New Mexico community. Larry Scott was supported by the majority of our county commissioners who recognized Larry's strong conservative record and service to southeast New Mexico. Please do not believe the negative campaign against Larry Scott. Larry Scott has earned our trust.
Paid for by the committee to elect Larry R. Scott.
Lee County is full of people who love to be here. Full of people who care about Lee County roads, Lee County schools, Lee County police and fire, and most of all, full of people who care about the future of Lee County and Lee County children. Re-elect Pat Sims for Lee County Commissioner District 5. Pat has proven he will work hard for the people in Lee County. Re-elect Pat Sims for another 4 years.
Hi, I'm Pat Sims. I love Lee County, and I know you do too. I'm asking for your vote to re-elect me as your District 5 Lee County Commissioner. Thank you.
Paid for by Pat Sims.
This is Davis Smith, the Guerrilla Lawyer, and I'm talking to you from my office on 3130 North Grimes in Hobbs, New Mexico. Our office has exploded with new clients. And do you know why? Fast settlements, fantastic customer service, and man, we love paying our clients money. If you get injured in a car wreck, you come see the Gorilla. Remember, if you get injured, you get the Gorilla.
Visit 3130 North Grimes or call 575-964-2720. That's 964-2720.
Hi, I'm Candy Spency-Zell, and I've spent my life farming and ranching here in southeastern New Mexico like generations of my family before me. This is my home. I have a lifetime's worth of experience, especially when it comes to our water rights and our constitutional rights. I will always fight for you. I'm Candy Spency-Zell, and I'm asking for your vote for State Senate District 32 in the upcoming primary election, June the 4th.
Paid for by Candy Spency-Zell for State Senate District 32.
Hello everyone, this is Catherine Brown. I made local history in 2010 when I was elected to serve House District 55 in the New Mexico House of Representatives. I became the first woman and the first Republican elected to this office. I now rank 7th in seniority in the House. Because of my efforts, Social Security benefits are no longer taxed for the vast majority of senior New Mexicans. Financial literacy is now a required subject in all public high schools. The Carlsbad brine well was successfully remediated and is no longer a threat to public safety. Carlsbad and Hobbs have more revenue at their disposal with no tax increase because I passed legislation amending the lodger's tax statute. The community college in Carlsbad is thriving as an independent institution. These are just a few examples of work I have done. Please vote for me, Catherine Brown, so I may continue serving you with excellence in Santa Fe.
Paid for by committee to re-elect Catherine Brown, David Fritchie, Treasurer.
Be in the Breakfast Club with $1 million guarantee. At some point this morning, Tom A. will fall asleep.
It's time to wake up, wake up.
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to Be in the Breakfast Club.
9:10, good news of the day still to come. We'll get to the good news of the day morning show being brought to you by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply. Good people at Roswell Livestock. 1105 East 2nd in Roswell, online at roswelllivestock.com. They have everything for the farm and ranch. If you're living on a farm and ranch, inside they've got a complete hardware store. They've got all your Western wear. They've got outside in the annex building, they've got pumps. If you need a water well pump, they've got you covered there. All the piping you will need. They've got cattle guards, gates, you name it, they've got it. They've got it all. 1105 East 2nd in Roswell, also Lincoln County Mercantile. You can find them in Capitan. Check them out today. Blake, is she with us?
She is. We have former Congresswoman Yvette Herrell. Good morning, Yvette.
Good morning. How are you?
I should say former and future. That's what I should say.
I like the sound of that.
Okay. So what is
how
going
you doing,
on?
Yvette? How are things going?
I think they're going great. We are so blessed. I don't have a primary opponent, but still I want to encourage everybody to get out and vote. But then we had really great news yesterday. President Donald Trump endorsed me, and I think it was just such a great endorsement for New Mexico, really talking about the important things here in terms of border, energy, our veterans, and it was just such an honor to get that endorsement. So I'm very excited about that. But again, even though I don't have a primary, I can't emphasize enough how important it's going to be for all of us to, one, have a really great showing today for this primary, and then keep that momentum going through November.
You know, we were just talking, Yvette, about I believe that Americans, we are smarter than Joe Biden. And we're going to see through this executive order today. 3.5 years, nothing done at the border. All of a sudden, we're 5 months away from the election, and he's going to sign the executive order everybody has been saying that he could do. Or here's a better plan. Don't even take away the Trump era executive order from Maine and Mexico and so on and so forth. So your thoughts on that?
Well, you're 100% right. He could have left everything in play as it was when he took office, because we had a secure border. We were safer in our communities. We did not have this lawlessness or this fentanyl crisis. And it's absolutely true. He's going to take an action today, which really is, in fact, great. As I understand it, it's going to allow, 4,000 or 5,000 people in a day. That doesn't secure the border. But as Joe Biden does every single time, he tries to play both sides of the aisle. He knows, or the fence, he knows that this is a number one issue for Americans. And so now he's going to take some little executive action when the reality is, and I believe people understand, none of this had to happen had he kept those Trump-era policies in place. And so now trying to fix this is like putting a Band-Aid on a gashing wound. It's too late. We need real border reform. We need immigration reform. But it's just, he's just trying to do this so it looks like he took some sort of action before the election. And honestly, he's not going to do more than that, because he's also got a base that wants wide open borders. So it's sort of a joke. And I believe what you just said is absolutely true. People are smarter than this president, and they are seeing through all of this. And honestly, what I'm hearing all over the district, it's not so much about party, it's about policies. It's about, looking at their checkbooks. They don't need me or you or anybody to say the border's open, the economy's bad. They can look in their 401ks. They can look in their checkbooks. They can see on the news this lawlessness, these, the fentanyl overdoses, these crimes committed against Americans. So it's time that we take our country back. Really, I think that's what the crux of this election will be, taking this country back.
I agree.
Well, and I know you don't have a primary opponent, but coming up in November, you have the same opponent as last time. And
that guy has some trouble.
Yeah, and he is in favor of wide open borders. He doesn't want any separation between America and Mexico.
That's right. And in fact, just a week before last, he voted to allow illegals to vote in the D.C. election. Congress has control over the District of Columbia. A bill was brought forward to say, look, illegals can't vote in elections, and he voted against that bill. I mean, but anything that's come to the border as far as H.R. 1, the most comprehensive border bill that's ever been introduced, against that, against deporting illegals that kill police officers. He voted against the what's her name? Laken Riley, sorry, Act. I mean, all of these things. And then comes to New Mexico, gets on TV and says he's introducing a bill so that we can all put our differences aside and secure the border, and then voted not once but twice for the next two border security bills. So, his actions speak louder than words.
Right.
But you don't have to go very far to realize when you're voting to allow illegals to vote in our elections, when you're not securing the border, he's silent on the border. That should tell everybody everything they need to know in terms of that position.
Agreed. Well, he flouts laws in his regular life. Like he just pled no contest to driving without a license, no insurance, etc. So that's not a felony, but he's a convicted criminal.
Right. And of course, on the questionnaire that the Albuquerque Journal puts out every year, he absolutely answered that falsely. He said no, he's never had any trouble. And that's only one of them. Then late last week, another headline came out that he was using racial slurs against ex-employees.
Yes.
That there was a attempt to flush marijuana down a toilet before the police got there, and then had the nerve to say, the police got it wrong in their report. I mean, if that was me, they would have 14 ads running on TV right now. And that is not the guy that represents my values or your values. I mean, that is so dishonest, and we deserve better than that. And it's just unfortunate that that's where our state is right now, but it's no surprise that's where our country is. But here's the thing. The redistricting was horrible, no doubt about it.
No doubt.
However, that's not what made us lose the race. What unfortunately was the poor Republican turnout. And I'll just cite Otero County as an example. If we would have had the same Republican turnout in Otero in 22 as we did in 20, we would have won. I'm not saying landslide, but this would be a very different conversation that we're having.
Right.
So we need to ensure that, voters get out in Lee, Eddy, Otero, all these counties. And I think today's results will kind of dictate, the talking points for the next 5 months. Because if we don't have a good turnout, whether I have an opponent or somebody has an opponent or not, that's just a great talking point for Democrats. Like, Gabe's in. Nobody has to worry. We outperformed 4-1, so we don't want to let that happen, and so that's why I'm looking.
How do we fix that? How do we fix that? Besides, a lot of people are just thinking their vote doesn't count. Election was stolen. Vote doesn't count. How do we fix that?
Well, here's one thing I can say that I am excited to share is your vote does count, and here's why. In Doñana County, bright blue county, we've moved the needle from 38% to 44.5% of the vote. That's what we got in 22. Wow. Not because a bunch of Republicans showed up, because moderate Democrats and independents are not falling for this ultra-progressive, push. They want a candidate that has more in common with their shared values. And honestly, we spend 90% of our time fighting about the 10% of the things that divide us. instead of coalescing around the things, the 90% of stuff we know we all want, like a secure border, safe neighborhoods, a good education for kids, a better economy, more money in our checkbooks, a Defense Department that can actually, is battle ready. I mean, there's all these things that we agree on, but the media, mainstream media, has a real influence. And I think people are waking up from that and saying, look, I don't care what they say on Fox or MSNBC. I'm looking at my family. I'm looking across the table at my kids. I'm looking at my checkbook, and I think that's what's starting to really push people to make different decisions. So when people don't think their votes count, I point to the fact that we made gains in every single county. We flipped 2 blue counties red, Luna and Hidalgo. We only lost Socorro County by 130 votes. I mean, this was a very tight race. But the sad thing was it's the Republican voters that kind of felt like that. Well, our votes don't count.
Well, I mean, look, even Lee, Eddy, and Chavez turnout was terrible. It was atrocious.
Yeah.
And so we got to get people out to the polls. But we can just feel it in America. The tide is changing. When I see African Americans in Chicago that are mad that illegal aliens are getting all the benefits, and they're saying they're voting for Trump, that trickles down to the rest of the Republican Party. So I think people are starting to figure out that the Democratic Party has lied to them year after year after year, generationally. They have been lying.
Oh, 100%. The very people they profess to want to help and lift up out of poverty, these policies are even more of a burden. They are higher taxes. This cost of groceries, the decision of making a payment for fuel or for rent or for food, that is crazy. And you're right. When we're seeing veterans, and I guarantee you, children in this district, in this state, went to bed hungry last night. But those families aren't getting free debit cards or free transportation or free housing. We've prioritized it where we've shifted, and Americans are no longer the priority under this administration, and that has to change. That has got to change. I mean, this is wrong what we're seeing happen.
Yvette, how do we take care of foreigners instead of taking care of our veterans that are sleeping on the streets?
That's just it. That makes me sick that we have that problem. And, of course, they just turn the blind eye. What about the children? No one talks about this. There are actually small children, I'm talking 3 to 5 years old, that are being used, held by the cartel. It's for, 24, 36 hours and let go in the desert. And, of course, they're screaming, crying. It's a huge distraction. And when the Border Patrol go there to help these children, then the cartel have an open area where they can run people through. I mean, it's all about humanitarian. If you ask, the White House, yet they turn their back on the hundreds of thousands of people overdosing with fentanyl, and seniors, too. I mean, that's something else we don't really hear about. The overdose, and this isn't really intentional overdose in most cases. It's poisoning. We're being poisoned by the cartel because a lot of seniors are buying medication online, and it's laced with fentanyl. I mean, that was a problem when I was in Congress, and it hasn't gotten any better. But it's just a shame that we've shifted the importance of the American people, American sovereignty, and allowed these illegals and the cartel to make the decisions for Americans. And that's why we need leadership in the White House. And that's why we've got to change who's representing us on these federal level offices.
I agree 100%. Yvette, how can people find out more information about you? You got a website and, of course, your Facebook and all that type of stuff?
Yes, it's Yvette Herrell, YVETTE Herrell, HERRELL.com. And, of course, we have a Facebook, Yvette for Congress. We're on Twitter. We're everywhere. And, obviously, coming to a neighborhood near you soon. I'm all over the district, spending lots of time in the South Valley of Albuquerque and down in Doñana County. And just the concern amongst New Mexicans, I'm feeling like people are less worried about party because that's getting in the way of making relationships happen and having good policy discussions. It's just gotten crazy.
Right.
And when you spend time with people, you realize, I've had a number of new Democrat folks and business owners in the South Valley say, gosh, you're just a regular person. You're just normal. You're like us. And I said, yes, I'm an American. I'm a New Mexican, and I love this country, and we can do better. And I think now that people are starting to tune out of the mainstream media, I think we're going to see, I hope, a really good turnout, because I do think in this election cycle, the direction of our nation is really going to change, and it's either going to change for the better or the worse. But just real quick, I want to throw this in here because Memorial Day, just a couple of weeks ago. Here's one thing I would tell people who are questioning whether or not to vote: ask a Gold Star family how important it is, because we have so many men and women that lay down their lives so that we could live in a nation of freedom, and to not vote because of the excuse of my vote doesn't count. Well, that's what the far left want you to think, and that's why we see suppression in votes. But now we know that a lot of independents and Democrats are voting for a more conservative candidate, but we owe it to the families of the lost that have fought for our freedom, and that should make everybody want to get out and vote.
Yes, absolutely.
I agree 100%. We're out of time, Yvette. I appreciate you. We'll have you on and the next month or so to talk about the upcoming election against Gabe Vasquez. Appreciate you so much. We're coming back. Good news of the day up next, and then Tradio as we wrap up on W105.
I got to hit the buttons. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Good news.
Good news of the day brought to you by Farmers Insurance Agent Herschel Rustin Hayes, Avenue D in Lovington, 575-396-0513. Call him today.
I just had the buttons all messed up there. Okay, so we're going to skip the thing about the jewelry saving the guy's life because we covered that already, and that was pretty good news, I would think, and that's a good lead in. A couple in Queens, New York, were magnet fishing in a park last Friday, reeled in a safe with $100,000 in cash.
Oh, man.
They called the cops and did the right thing, but it sounds like no one had reported it missing, so they got to keep the money.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. And speaking of New York, an off-duty firefighter named Joe Pendergrass was on his way to work Friday morning when he saw an apartment building on fire. Now, he didn't have any of his gear with him, but he rushed in anyway, got a guy out, and saved 4 French bulldogs.
Oh.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. And that is your good news of the day. We still have time for a couple more stories before we have to go to Tradio.
I thought we had 2 more breaks. That's why I was going to come back and do the good news. We're good?
We are, yeah.
Oh, okay. We're good. John Legend. Tom, you know about John Legend.
Yeah, he's a singer.
John Legend said that Trump's masculinity is attracting black and Latino votes because he's masculine. Is he trying to say that Joe Biden is not masculine?
Well, I think everyone would tell you Joe Biden's not masculine.
Oh, okay. I was just
even when he gets all flared up and get off my lawn, he really is more like that puppet that one guy does.
Right.
That looks like him than being masculine.
Justice Alito is at a Catholic school commencement ceremony and warned about the attack on the First Amendment. Tom, do you believe there's been an attack on the First Amendment?
Sure.
Our freedom of speech. Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. And Jeff Bezos' charity pours in $100 million into developing fake meat that will be sold on Amazon.
Is it lab grown or fake? Because
let's see what it says.
Because right now we have all these. You have different aspects, right? You have Impossible and you have Beyond, which is it's just a plant-based fake meat
products and components. Okay. Food production, second largest, source of greenhouse gases.
Right. So not lab grown. It'll be more like an Impossible.
Lab grown meat.
Okay.
Yeah, they take animal cells and grow it in a lab.
Oh. Yep.
Well, they still need animal cells.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, and it for all intents and purposes, it is real meat. It's not a fake meat. They just grow it in the lab instead of the animal growing as an animal.
Yeah. Average young adult predicts they'll be dead by the age of 76. Tom, do you think you'll make it to 76?
I think I'm going to make it to 90. To tell you the truth.
Oh, we need to take some bets on this. Over, under.
I'm going to be honest. My poll is before 70.
See, my lifeline says I'm going to live a long time.
Your lifeline.
I'm,
the one that has
I'm
the break in it?
70, Blake. What do you have it, Matt?
Yeah, I would say early 70s, probably. I'd
72?
say he's pretty average, yeah.
Okay. 72. I'm saying 70, which means you got 5 more years.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Or
Better
7.
hurry up and do what
Or
I want.
7. Yeah. Look, I'm going to tell everybody, you're not promised tomorrow, no matter what age you are. So if you're putting off things, if you keep putting everything off, I'm going to tell you don't. You live life, right? You either get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah, no doubt. St. Paul, Minnesota mayor thanks President Biden for canceling his student loan. Oh, thank you so much. And Speaker Johnson vowing back, he says that they are going to fight and prevent. Too bad that, the budget bill already got passed, right?
Yeah.
Too bad for that.
Yeah.
All right, time for us to go. We got to get on out of here. News this morning being brought to you by our buddy Enrique Rocha, Rocha Air Conditioning and Heating. Give him a call today if you've got air conditioning problems. 575-631-1999. Call him today if you've got problems with your AC. We'll see you tomorrow. It's going to be another fun-filled edition of B and the Breakfast Club, Wednesday edition tomorrow. We're out of here. Tradio's up next.
News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington.